limitations, you get to receive all the package. You get to receive all the package.
Okay.
Get to first hand before others get to join. It's like when you're the first passenger or one of the first passengers in a moving train, the tea, the coffee, and everything that has been prepared, you get served first before those who will join along the road. So I consider you very privileged to be here today. And it's on this note that I like to welcome you gladly. So a few days ago, the world celebrated the International Women's Day, and the theme was Break the Bias. But how can you break a bias when you're not informed? Some of the things that we young women are suffering today in the world is as a result of misinformation or ignorance. Because if we know what our rights are, we would go to a great extent to protect our rights and also to do great things in the world. So today, we want to show you how you can rise above the line. When we talk about line, we talk about limitations, we talk about obstacles and everything that tries to hinder the woman from moving forward. And to do this effectively, of course, we have amazing speakers who will be sharing their experiences and who will be talking about critical issues that affect the woman in the business world, in the career world, when it comes to networking and opportunities, and of course, when it comes to the mindset. We have the people like Madam Bestie Ati. I have followed her closely for years, and she has been a huge inspiration to me. I am very happy to host her, to be the anchor of a program that she's going to speak at today. We have Mrs. Magdalene Carlo. I have heard about her so much, and I've checked her out a few times, and I'm happy that she's here with us today. We have Madam Priscilla Kanisobi. What a privilege to host such an amazing woman. And the last but not the least, we have Madam Sylvia Archer. It's such a huge pleasure to have these women. And in a short while, of course, I will be bringing them on. But before we go on to bring them on to talk about all the amazing things they have to talk about today, I'd like you to take a brief second and invite your friends. Go to your WhatsApp status, tell them we are live, tell everybody to come online because a lot of goodies will be dished out today. And it wouldn't be good for anyone to miss it. So share the link, let everyone join us, and let there be massive progress in this room. Right now, we want to welcome the convener of this particular conference. I'd like the convener to come and speak to us before we move into other programs that we have today. Ladies, and if there's any gentleman in the house, please, if your hands are not too heavy, can you put them together as we bring to the podium the convener of the Young Women Conference, probably brought to you by the Double Edge Impact Network, which has been tagged above the line. Are you clapping? Are you putting your hands together? Keep doing that until the convener comes to speak to us. The convener will address us for brief minutes before we move into other programs. So if you keep clapping, the convener will join us. The convener has not joined us because you're not clapping. So put your hands together as we bring the convener, the beautiful, intelligent, outstanding Madam Chidinma Ezenwa.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Rose Jonathan. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you once again. Good morning, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Good morning. Thank you all for being here. It's such a great privilege. It's such a great privilege to welcome you all to the maiden edition. This is the first of its kind. Just like our anchor said, it's the first edition of the Young Women's Conference organized by the Double Edged Impact Network. Like, it's the very first edition. And I know that you're going to take the first partakers' gifts as you're going. So this conference has been organized for all of us to rise above limitations. The theme, as we all know, is above the line. And it has been organized for us to rise above every limitation that we face in career, in business, and in life generally. We're going to be having 4 amazing speakers, just like the anchor said. We're going to be having 4 amazing speakers leading us in 4 life impactful sessions. Sessions like how to rise above the line in career, how to rise above the line in business, how to build valuable networks, and of course, how to develop mindsets to help us rise above the line, and of course, stay above the line. Because sometimes all these limitations are even because of the kind of mindset that we have. So one of the sessions is going to address how to develop the line, how to develop those mindsets, and how to crush limiting mindsets that are making us not to rise above those limitations. It's our desire as an organization that by the end of this conference, each and every one of us will be armed with information, with the right knowledge that is required from each of us to maximize our full potentials. We need to maximize our full potentials, be all that we can be, to be fully aware of ourselves so that we can be everything that God has made us to be. So I implore us all to sit tight, sit through all the sessions. Don't miss any session. Every session is going to be impactful. Don't say, okay, I've attended this one. This is the one that is more important to me. I don't want to attend this one. No, every session is going to be really, really impactful. And please do not miss any session. Sit tight, take notes, ask questions, seek clarity where you do not understand. And I'm sure our speakers will be very, very glad to take our questions. So please do not miss any session. It's going to be really, really life transforming. So lastly, before I hand over to the anchor, we have created a poll where we want to know about your experiences in career and then in business. Sorry about that. We created a poll that you want to get to know about your experiences in career, in business as a young lady in Nigeria, in Africa, around the world, anywhere. So please check the chat room and then please fill in the poll. Thank you all once again for being here. I am really, really grateful. Thank you. You are welcome.
Thank you so much, our convener, Madam Chidima Ezenwa, for that brief introduction and welcome speech. Thank you so much. The thing is that from the breakdown of participants that we'll be having today, we know there are Christians and Muslims and also people from other different religions joining us today. But the thing is that no matter what you worship or what you believe in, the truth is that every human being, and specifically now, every woman has been given the ability to thrive and rise above the line. So it doesn't matter who you worship or what you believe in, you have abilities, you have potential inside you. And it doesn't matter what anybody is telling you, you should rise above the line. Okay? So just like our convener has said, we have so many amazing things to share with you today, and we have amazing speakers who are already waiting to join us today for this session. And I am proud to introduce the first speaker to us this morning. Our first speaker is no other person than Madam Magdalene Carlo. I will read her brief profile before I bring her on to speak to us. But before I do that, kindly put yourself on mute. It's very important for us to remain attentive and not miss a single thing from all our speakers. And to do that, we need absolute tranquility. If you're not speaking, kindly mute yourself so that you will not have noise from your background interfering in what you're doing. When there is need for you to speak, we'll either give you the chance to unmute yourself, or then we can tell you to go ahead and do that. So back to our first speaker for today. Our first speaker, like I said, is Mrs. Magdalene Carlo, and I'll read her profile before we move on this morning. She is a growth catalyst whose mission is to make young adults understand the need for building great character and virtue whilst living a purpose-driven life. She's the founder of Growth Nation Africa, a coaching and mentoring community that provides support, skills, and resources that help young adults understand the need for growth and personal development. Our speaker is also the founder of Courageous Me Foundation, an organization that caters for the educational needs of street kids. She's a serial entrepreneur and very passionate about growth and personal development. This morning, our speaker will be speaking to us on the topic, the mindset of the winning lady. And the truth is that we know that everything we are today or will ever become is as a result of our mindset. If your mindset is not correct, if you don't have the right mindset, you will not be able to achieve the great strides that you are made to achieve. This is why for Christians who are here with us, we know what the Bible talks about concerning the need for constant mind renewal. Because the more you renew your mind, the more you open it up to possibilities. And when your mind is open to possibilities, definitely you're going to find it very easy to rise, not just above the line that has been put on us by society, but also lines that we have deliberately put on ourselves. And we will not just rise above these lines, we will also be able to stay above these lines. Ladies, and of course, if there are gentlemen in the house, it is my utmost pleasure and delight to bring to the podium this morning our first speaker for the Young Women Conference, who is no other person than Mrs. Magdalene Carlo. If your hands are not too heavy and are not busy, I want you to put them together as we bring our first speaker to the podium. Remember, she will not come until you start clapping. So show me all those virtual claps. Let's go and keep doing it until our speaker comes. As you can see, I'm doing mine. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. If you know who our speaker is, then you know you're supposed to even join your legs and clap for her. So keep clapping until she shows up. She's about to come live. Yes, yes, here she is. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm so excited. First of all, I want to thank the organizers of this amazing initiative. I think I've taught two of them. I didn't even know they were sisters, Ella Chidima and Chisom. You guys are doing amazing work. I'm super proud, super excited at how far you all have come. I want to also thank Miss Rose, if I'm correct, the anchor. Thank you so much. You're good. You're very good.
Thank you.
Also, I want to thank my senior, big sister, Mrs. Bestie acting. I've never seen such a strong woman like that. Literally, she these past few weeks have been very amazing for her. She has also found the strength and the courage to get with us. I think that's the mindset of a woman who's already and will always continue to be. Thank you. And I want to welcome everyone in the class. Let me see if I can see your names. I can see Rose. I can see Chidima. I can see Princess. Welcome Stacy. Welcome Ungozika. Welcome Adeboka Fumilade. Welcome Mabesti. Welcome Shalom Cynthia Dennis Dong Ekom Itel Chisom Grace Joy Chuku Joy Dochuku Obiomai Magala Samuel Esther Sharon Timak Queen Yusuf Keda Jausa in Nakwana Yaya Gida Yaya Aiki, sending greetings to all my amazing people out there. I love you, and I know that this meeting was orchestrated for your benefit. Thank you so much to everyone who has come out. So please permit me to use my reading glasses at this point so I can see clearly into the future. So I would just like to say a word of prayer. Let's just take this time to say thank you, God. Thank you, God, for this opportunity. Thank you for this great opportunity. We ask that you open our minds, open our ears to hear, and allow us to benefit exceedingly. I acknowledge your presence, Holy Spirit. We ask that you in Jesus' name. So let's just delve right. So I was asked to speak on the topic mindset. I have just 40 minutes. It's been a long one for me since yesterday, but I'm sure as much as possible to give everyone full attention. And I have 45 minutes, but I'll be speaking for 40 minutes so that I can answer questions in 5 minutes. I have a lot on my table today. God will help me. So if you have your pen and paper with you, I have mine because I also came here to please, for those of us who like to take notes, I'm going to be speaking on the topic, the mindset of a winning I understand that we are, if not 95% ladies here, and I also understand that there will be some men here probably hiding in the background or even probably listening. Other people, you're welcome. So the entirety of life or who you turn out to be in life is predicated upon a healthy or unhealthy mindset that you carry. So literally, your mindset has everything to do with your character, has everything to do with the outcome of your decision, has everything to do with your attitude, has everything to do with the way your life is inside. So of course, the the heartbeat or the desire of every lady is first of all to win, and to win, to be successful, to become accomplished, you must have a mindset. There is a mindset you must carry. There is an attitude you must have. There are actions you must take, which of course is stated, as a result of the mindset that you carry. So first, our defining mindset. I had to Google just to be sure I know what mindset is. And one of the definitions that stood out for me says that mindset is a collection of thoughts, beliefs, and most of when these thoughts shape your habit. So your thought process, your thoughts pattern, how you reason, how you think, basically is your mindset. So what you're thinking, how you're thinking it, who you're even thinking, right? Your mindset. Another definition of mindset that stood out for me is I can't remember the exam dictionary said it is the set of assumptions, the methods, and the notions. What you are seeing, we often say don't live life based on assumptions, but a body of assumption can form your mindset. Your methods, how you decide to do a thing, what way, the pattern you decide to do a thing, right? Is a mindset. Is a mindset. So another definition that stood out for me is the fact that mindset can also be said to be your attitude or your mental state. Mental, mental. Your mental state. What's your mental state like? What are you thinking constantly? Well, basically, in summary, mindset is the collection of your thoughts, process, your thoughts, patterns, and your mental state. The Bible speaking says, as the man thinketh in his heart. So the sum total of who you are is as a result of mindset. And I make bold to say that all the speakers we have invited, all the people that celebrate you all, and the reason why we invited them is because every one of us here thinks that their thought process, their thought pattern is something you want other people to learn. So they are who they are, or they are who they have become, or and still becoming as a result of their thought process, as a result of their intelligence, their mindset, what you think they carry, right? So if you can hear me say, "Oh, I hear you, ma," tell me in the comment section. So it doesn't look at it. So I always love my classes to be very interactive. So tell me in the comment section. I hear you. I understand this well. Let me see the comments. I can't see the comments. Okay, I'm seeing them now. Amazing. So your mindset obviously determines how far. Okay, someone is saying she can hear me. Maybe it's a network thing. If other people can hear me, please let me know. Is what she's saying true? Is my audio going off at some point? Or maybe it's the network for my end.
Yes, it is. It's going off at some point.
Okay. So I don't know if I should do this without my ear. Please, or okay, can everyone hear me now? Is it better now?
I think it is.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think it's better now. So I'm going to have to shout. So my neighbors will also have to partake in this class. So I was saying your mindset basically determines how far you go, right? If you're moving from point A to point B, your thoughts pattern, your mindset, how you're thinking about it, the way you're even going to go about it, determines how far you would go and how far you get. So that being said, you can now ask yourself, what kind of mindset do I have? Or has my mindset brought me, very far? Or I need to have a more enlarged mindset and all of that. So there are basically different types of mindsets, and I'll be talking about 3 or 4 of them for the purpose and the context of this class. I'll be talking about the few mindsets I wrote down. Number 1 is we have the growth mindset, we have the abundance mindset, we have the positive mindset. We also have the entrepreneurial mindset, we have the challenge mindset, and we have the mindful mindset. But for the purpose of this class, I'm going to be dealing with these 3 major mindsets that affect the percentage of people who are listening to me and who are in this class. And the 3 major ones I'll be focusing on is 1, the abundance mindset, 2, the positive mindset, and 3, the growth mindset. Now, if you must really win, be above the line, because on the line is the average, the mediocre, basically an average player is on the line. But if you must be above the line, if you must go higher than what it is that people are doing now, than what it is that women are doing now, then you must have these 3 mindsets. You must have a growth mindset, you must have an abundance mindset, you must have a positive mindset. So I'm going to start with the very first one, which is the abundance mindset, right? And the opposite of abundance is scarcity. When someone has an abundance mindset, the person basically has a mindset which has an understanding that it can thrive anywhere, and that there is abundance of resources, there is abundance of materials, there's abundance of everything, right? Do you understand at this point? An abundance mindset knows that the world, the universe is limitless. I have limitless opportunities, I have limitless resources, I have limited knowledge, I have unlimited resources, unlimited relationships to tap from. I have unlimited access to everything and anything in this world. That is an abundance mindset. Understanding that I, as a person, there is no limit to what I can have in abundance. So the opposite of abundance mindset is scarcity, a mindset that feels like it's just the 1K in my account balance, that's what I have. So therefore, this project I'm gunning, they're asking me to even, indulge in, I cannot do it. With that mindset, you can never go far as a lady. The mindset that is only limited to the bank account, the mindset that is only limited to what you can see, the mindset that is only limited to what you think you can, you can have, you can touch in your immediate environment. But no, the mindset that gets you far is the abundance mindset. The mindset that explodes your mind to the place to understand that there is more. There is always more money somewhere. There is always more knowledge. There's always more resources. The reason why most of us are here is because we have that abundance mindset. We are understanding that there is more to learn. Even if I have attended this person's class before in the time past, or I may have attended, some people call me Coach Meg, I've attended Coach Meg's class sometime in 2019, sometime in 2020. So what else is she going to talk about? That's a scarce mindset. That's a mindset that will never, ever, ever live above the line. So if you must strive above the line, you must have an abundance mindset. You must understand that at every given time, there is always excess knowledge. There is always excess resources. There are always more opportunities out there. Don't limit yourself to the fact that, because I stay in a city, because I stay in a region, because I stay in a continent, so my opportunities are going to just be around. The producers of this app that we are using had an abundance mindset when Zoom was being produced or was being birthed. Because if they did not, they would not have known, or they would not have even thought that an app like this was going to be very important at a time when the world was shut down, at a time when there was COVID, there was no movement, there was no conferences were cancelled, flights were cancelled. If they did not create this app from an abundance mindset, they will not be meeting the need that this app is meeting to us right now. So you're going to tell yourself, after this class, I'm going to expand my mindset. I'm going to understand that there is more. There is more. There is more. There's always more. There are always more people to meet. There's always new knowledge to gain. There is always more money. What you have to do is, how can I make more money? How can I gain access to more opportunities? Once you have this mindset, trust me, it will be drawn to you. The more you desire it, the more you think about it. Remember, mindset is a thinking thing, is a thought thing. So the more you think about it, the more you visualize it, the more you actually, keep meditating upon it and just keep thinking about it, it will just come to you. Do I make sense, or am I making sense rather? Is it making sense? Is the abundance mindset understood?
Yes, lots of sense. Correct.
Okay, so another thing I need you to understand about the abundance mindset is that it is a personal thing, right? So you can't even force another person to think abundant. That's why most times when people are thriving in cities where people say things don't work, if abundance mindset was something that was, it was common, it was everywhere. That's why I'm hammering. You need to have it. You need to embrace it, because if you don't embrace it, it won't work for you. Let's say, for instance, I'm in Umuahia and someone else is in Umuahia and is having a mindset that Umuahia is a place where things don't thrive, people don't thrive, businesses don't thrive, businesses don't grow, And I am here right now in Umuahia, and I know I have been able to do my business in and outside of Umuahia. I have gotten, I'm also an event planner. I've gotten jobs outside of Umuahia, and I've gotten jobs that have paid even in millions, right? Even in thousands, right? So it's because of the abundance mindset that I have. The more you expand your mindset as a lady, the more you are able to attract more opportunities. I don't know why I'm stressing on this abundance, but I feel it strongly that it's for someone. This year, decide to stretch your mind, decide to dream big, decide to think big. If you can think about it, then you can have it. If you can see it in your mind eye, then you can have it. So I'm just going to go over to the second mindset, which is the positive mindset. So the negative or positive mindset is the negative mindset, a mindset that always never sees good in anything. Always, never, ever. When we talk about having a positive mindset, it just simply means keeping up a positive attitude towards everything and towards life, right? Oh, Nigeria looks as if we're having a failed government. My belief is that things will get better. Oh, I don't have all the money that I need to do to carry out a project. My mindset is that even if I don't have enough money, I just believe that I'll be favored. I believe that I'll get more opportunities that will pay me. I believe that I'll land a job with my skills and abilities. I believe that if I work harder, I'm going to land a job that will get me the money I need to carry out whatever project it is. So as a lady, you have to have a positive mindset. Positivity is such an amazing aura. That's why people always hang out with people who are positive. You hear things like, oh, I just like that lady because she always has a positive mindset. Even when people see bad in things, even when people see bad in other people. Now, this transcends more even to your relationship with people. There are times when it looks as if someone is acting up, someone is not really living up to expectations, but then you are just saying, oh, I still believe so much in this person. I believe there's so much potential. I believe. So I'm going to be using mindset and belief because I feel like they are almost the same thing, because if you believe something, then it's now a mindset for you. So if you must live above the line, you have to always be positive. Be optimistic. That's what I can say. Never be pessimistic. Don't be that person that will say, oh, but look at, it's not working, it's not aligning. I've pressed the calculator, I've calculated it in my head, it's not aligning at all. It's not, for the Christians who are watching me, there's something we always believe, that with God, all things are possible. I believe I'm a partaker and I'm created in his image. So if I'm created in his image, that means I'm also a God. And if God is saying with him, everything is possible, then with me too, everything is possible and nothing is impossible. So the positive mindset is a mindset that is always looking on the bright side of things. And I've always found out that what you focus on grows, what you focus on expands. So the more positive you are, the more you're likely to attract positive things into your life, positive relationships, positive friends, positive businesses, positive people around you. And of course, when positive things are happening around you, everyone is happy, everyone is excited, things are just working and all of that. So if you understand the positive mindset, type in the comment section, I choose to have a positive mindset today. A mindset that says I can do it, a mindset that says all things are possible, a mindset that knows that even if it is bad now, there's always the bright side to things. So let me see your comments in the comment section. I choose to have a positive mindset. Amazing. Chidima, amazing. I choose to have, no matter what happens, even if the business plan at this point is not going the way I planned, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to be optimistic. You may add it to your affirmations. I'm going to be optimistic. No matter what happens, I thrive here. I have an abundant mindset. I have a positive mindset. I am going to make it. I'm going to, make it. I will make it. I will make it. I just keep saying that to yourself over and over and over and over and over and over again and over again. I choose. Hi, Sharon. Yes. You have a positive mindset. That's it. I choose to be optimistic. Even when things go wrong, I choose to see that all things are working together for my good. I will not say the negative things. I will not affirm the negative things. I also need you to know that your mindset is also about your words, what you say, because of course, out of the abundance of the heart, out of the abundance of the mind, out of the abundance of the thoughts, your mouth speaks. So I need you to vocalize it. Even as you're typing it, keep saying it. I have an abundance mindset. I have a positive mindset. No matter what goes wrong, I choose to look at the bright side of life. I choose to look on the positive side of life. That's it. Keep on the energy. Let your comments roll in. Now begin to mention the positive things that you want. Oh, I have the best of friends. I have the best of relationships. I have the best of knowledge. I thrive in the right atmosphere. I attract the right kind of people. I attract my destiny helpers. I attract the right people. I attract the money. I attract. Just write in the comment section what you're attracting. That's right. I love the energy in the comment section. Keep it going. You can write it down in your book. Write all the things you're attracting. Write all the things you're hopeful for. All the things you're positive for. All the things. Oh, I might feel headache. I might feel weak, but I attract. I have a positive mindset. I know I'm healthy. I am strong. I am fit. That's right. Keep it going. So we're just still going. So we're going to move on to the last, mindset I'm going to be talking about. Other mindsets are relevant, but not in this context. And that is a growth mindset. And I feel like this mindset is something that hits me deep down in my soul because I'm a product of growth. And I come from a place where I already had a deficiency in my mindset, because I had a fixed mindset towards the way things were. I used to be someone who said, oh, you know what? I can't do this, I cannot do it. Like, I can't. It's that I can't. I had a fixed mindset towards things. I was not, I didn't have a learning mindset, so to say. So the opposite of a growth mindset is a fixed mindset. Now, a fixed mindset that believes that it is all knowing, it is self-content with what it knows. It, it cannot be moved. It cannot be shifted. It is, I don't know what other adjective to describe a fixed mindset, but I wrote down a fixed mindset is a mindset that says that's just who I am. I can't change. I know some of us are like that. There were times in your life where we say, this is who I am, or I cannot change. That's how God created me to be. No, that's a wrong mindset. And that's the mindset that most of our parents passed down to us. That's the mindset that we grew up in. That's the kind of environment we found ourselves in, where people say, oh, this is who I am. You cannot change me, right? A fixed mindset is a mindset that's always saying, oh, no, I don't want to try, I will fail, right? It's not a mindset that wants to learn or is not open to embrace learning per se. So a fixed mindset is a mindset that's always saying things like, oh, my skills and my talents are enough. If I'm not skillful in this area, then I cannot delve into this area. Now, most of us are in that place where, with all the things I have mentioned, you have actually found out that this is who you are. Like, you have been hell-bent on saying, this is how I can go this far, no further. But today I've come to push you above the line and to tell you and to make you understand that the mindset of a winning lady is a mindset that understands that I will continue to grow. It doesn't matter how many degrees I have. It doesn't matter how many conferences I have attended. My life has to be a roller coaster of learning. I have to always learn, ever learning, ever growing. You would bear me witness that a tree that is constantly growing or has this growth process on track is a tree that will yield fruit. A lot of us have the heights we want to attain, we have the status we want to get to, we have the amount of money we want to make and all of that, but you cannot get there with a fixed mindset. You cannot get there with a mindset that is always stuck to what they knew years back, that is stuck to what it knows, like, this is what I know, nobody can change my mind. No. As a lady, you must be willing to learn, expand your mind. You must be willing to unlearn, relearn, overlearn. Make sure that every phase of your life you're learning. I am also at this phase of my life where I'm also learning. I am learning a lot. I'm learning how to communicate more. I'm learning how to manage money more. I'm learning how to expand. So learning is part of life. The growth mindset is a learning mindset. And if you don't know how to learn, and if you don't realize that if I don't learn, I can never become, then you already set yourself up for failure. One thing I wrote in my notes is that a mindset that the growth mindset is a mindset that believes that people's abilities can be developed through hard work. Now I understand you have your skills, you have your talents. Oh, some of us are makeup artists, some of us are, some of us are public speakers, some of us are career ladies. You have different things you're doing, you have your skills and all of that. But if you must grow in whatever aspect of life that you are in, then you must understand that you have to work hard. You have to work hard either in a place of learning and development. You're reading, you're researching, you're studying, you are hooking up with people who expand your mindset. You are actually around people who make sure that you don't remain redundant. The truth is that life abhors people who are behind. And the beautiful thing about growth mindset is that it keeps you renewed, it keeps you refreshed. You're always learning, always keeping up to the standards, you're always updated. Have you ever wondered why your apps keep updating? That's because the people who created them are ever learning. They're always learning new ways, new strategies, new systems, new structures, upgrading themselves. That is how you should be. This year, make up your mind. I'm going to grow like never before. I'm going to upgrade myself. I'm going to learn more skills. Don't say, oh, because I'm a makeup artist, I cannot do public speaking. No, whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve it. Research has shown us that the brain is neuroplastic. That means the brain has the ability to reorganize, to relearn, to unlearn, and adjust to a pattern of learning. So don't say, oh, this is people that say, oh, that's who I am. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That's just blatant lie. Because as far as I'm concerned, your brain is neuroplastic. It has the ability to unlearn. It has the ability to reform, to reorganize. As long as you're setting it on course, it has the ability to re-engineer itself and follow that course. A growth mindset is a mindset that understands that I have to learn new strategies. I have to try harder. I have to seek feedback. It's not stuck with what it knows. Oh, this is what I know and this is the final. No. A growth mindset is a mindset that has room for correction. It is open to learning, literally. It is open to learning. It's not a mindset that says this is what I know and I will know it forever. No, you will never go far with such mindset as a lady. You have to be open to learning. You have to be open to networks that teach you. You have to be open to building relationships that make sure that you are learning over time. You are improving. You're getting the best version of yourself. Am I making sense? If I am, tell me in the comment section. Are you getting it? Is anybody about to grow? Is anybody thinking of growing? Or are you still going to be stuck in what you know? Let me see your comments. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Awesome, Princess. Awesome, Dennis. Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you. Hi, Liberator, thank you. Awesome, 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 awesome. So we're going to just dive into how to build, how to build a growth mindset. I've talked about mindset. You have to it's flying up and down, but let's bring it down. How do I have this mindset? How do I come into this place where I have abundance, I have positivity, and I am growing? First of all, you have to unfix your mind. Let's go of all those things, all those your beliefs. This is how things are. This is the way life is. I'm sure if you asked our parents way back, if there'll be things like phones, if there'll be things like apps that help life easier, like the one we are using now to host this virtual conference, which has saved us money for food and drinks, which has saved us money from getting a hall, they will tell you is a lie. So right now, declutter your mind, declutter your head. Like, things are changing, people are evolving. Focus on your journey. An important factor when building a growth mindset is seeing the value in your journey, right? Because as you grow, there is a process that growth takes you through. You might make mistakes, people would hurt you, you will hurt people, but all of that process makes you build character. For those of us who are Christians, there's a part of the Bible that says that be grateful for challenges because they work out patience in you, right? In other words, be grateful for life, be grateful for growth process, which is very painful. If I must say, growth is very painful because if you must grow well, there has to be some pruning. Just like your flower, when a flower is growing, of course, manure has to be poured to it, and manure is not pleasant. Some of us, the manure that we have are people that talk down on us, people that look down on us, our challenges, the struggles we are facing are the manures that we have for growth, right? So, of course, manure is needed for growth, and as a flower is growing, you're pruning, and pruning is not funny, it's very painful. You're cutting off the excesses, you're getting into shape, you're beating yourself into alignment, you're actually getting into alignment, you're pruning off, you're taking away the excess weight. Bible speaking says, drop off the excess weight so that you can run the race that is ahead of you, putting aside, laying aside every weight. So if you're going to prune a flower, it's going to be painful because some stems have to go, some branches have to be cut off, some friends have to go, some mindsets have to drop, some people have to live your life. You have to do it with some character traits, you have to do it with some habits. So enjoy enjoy it. Learn through the process. Learn. As you go through your process, you're building character, you're building tenacity, you're building everything buildable, right? If people correct you on things, don't take it to heart and say, oh, this
You
person
remember
hates me.
something.
No matter the way
Oh
you
my god,
communicate
oh my god.
your
You know what make
offenses
Grandma
to
bring
you
up that
or your
case?
weaknesses to
Your
you,
mama
just
have
take the good part and move on. It's all a process. Focus on your journey. Focus on the things that you are learning. So some people just say, oh, I have the end in mind. I'm not asking you not to have the end in mind. Let's say your end is to be an accomplished public speaker. But then there has to be a journey of knowing how to communicate, when to communicate, assertive communication, types of communication, understanding your audience, understanding what to tell them. In that process, you will offend people, people will hurt you, you will step on toes. Now, during the process, there are things you will learn. Of course, you will learn how not to talk again. You will learn how to talk well. You will learn a certain way not to talk to a certain kind of people. So focus on the process. Don't just be engrossed in, oh, the big picture, the big picture, the big picture. Focus on your journey, the step by step. That way, you learn one step at a time. Number 2, incorporate the magic word yet. The fact that you have not learned it does not mean that you cannot be it. Oh, just in case you're struggling with, a task, you're struggling with learning something new. Let's say you're a digital marketer and you're studying how to, do social media. You're studying how to do social media marketing, and you're not bringing in sales as you desire. The important thing to do, or the thing, is to tell yourself, I've not learned it yet, but I would learn it. Always say, I have not learned it yet. Don't say, I have not learned it or I will not learn it. Always choose the word yes. Oh, I have not mastered it yet. I am not familiar with it yet. The fact that the word yet is there means that you're striving to make sure that you learn it. You're striving to make sure that you gain mastery. That you've not learned it now does not mean you'll not learn it later. So always choose the word yes. Oh, I can do this. I cannot do this just yet. Having in mind that, okay, I am going to still learn and all of that. So, am I making sense? Am I rushing? Am I making sense? Am I giving you the value you paid for? Is this the content you signed up for? Let me know in the comment section, because I feel like I'm talking to myself. Are we flowing? Are we getting any value for your time? Thank you, Princess. Thank you, Rudy Karen. Thank you. Thank you. So, on fixing your mindset and getting to a point of growth, number 3 is pay attention to your words and your thoughts. Pay critical attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Practice mindfulness. Always be conscious. Always be in the awareness of what you say. Sometimes, if you don't know what to say, if you have to use your hand and put on your mouth, please do. For your own growth, for your own safety. Because at this point, people might not understand the training you're going through, the process you're passing through just to become better. But at the end of the day, they will value the fact that, this person has grown. So pay attention to your thoughts. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. The truth is that your mind is a battlefield. It's always having things running through it. You may not be able to control what enters into your mind or the thoughts that flash across, but you can control the ones you choose to focus on. Right? And there are ways that I have used over time to make sure that I have the right thoughts running through my mind. Number 1 is meditation. I can never overemphasize the use and the importance of meditation. It's so important. Every day of your life, if you can, 3 times in a week, if you can, 2 times, at least once in a week, take out a day, set out few minutes, few hours, few seconds, sit down in a quiet place, play a very soft tune or music or whatever it is, just a sound that would help you stay in a very quiet environment and begin to meditate on things that are beautiful. The Bible speaking says, whatsoever is lovely, whatsoever is honest, whatever is worthy of emulation, think upon those things. A translation says, meditate upon those things. There is so much with meditation and your mindset. The more you meditate upon beautiful things, upon beautiful opportunities, upon the amazing, beautiful things of life. You can choose to meditate on a Bible verse. Let's say your meditation verse for the day is, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You're just thinking upon it. What are the things that you might want? You might want money, you might want good relationships, you might want resources, you might want a better job. Just think of it. See yourself in that oh, my time is almost up. Okay, I'm sorry, let me just round up in a few minutes. So I was talking about meditation. See yourself in the good place you want to be. See yourself wearing that suit, walking into that office apartment. Meditation is really about visualizing what you want. The more you visualize it, the more your mind is being renewed, the more you have beautiful thoughts pass through your mind. Another way to make sure that you don't entertain negative thoughts is affirmations. I use that a lot. I speak to myself, oh, I am worthy of all the beautiful things in life. I am amazing, I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm smart, I can do this, I can do that, I can do everything. There is nothing impossible. You just keep releasing your words into the atmosphere. You just keep releasing good things, right? You're just speaking good. Another way is journaling, writing down your thoughts. If you're consistently having negative thoughts, write all the negative thoughts on paper, tear them or burn them. As you burn them, feel those thoughts leave you. Feel those thoughts, you've discarded them, is that you discarded them. So I'm trying to rush. My time is almost up. And number 4 way of fixing your growth and having a growth mindset is take on challenges. Do things that challenge you. Oh, maybe you have a problem with reading. Get a partner that will challenge you to reading. Whether it's a competition, whatever it is you want to call it, but make sure that you're challenging yourself to be better. You're doing exactly the opposite of the things that, people thought you could not do. Oh, they say, on a normal day, I cannot finish 1 book in a week. Challenge yourself. Say, oh, this week, you know what? I'm challenging myself to reading this book and I'm going to finish it. Get an accountability partner, someone you can always report your daily progress to. And tell them, oh, you know what? I've read chapter 1 and 2 today. Tomorrow we are doing 3 and 4. That way, you are growing, you are improving. You're setting systems and structures in place that ensure that your mindset is expanded. And the more books you read, the more you're able to get into the mind of great minds. You're able to communicate their thoughts with them, even though you've not met them. So I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm gassing out, really. I am really gassing out. So I will just summarize with this. The growth mindset is what every lady needs to actually thrive. If you must win, you must be bent on growing. Stretch yourself. Don't do what ordinary people are doing. Oh, ordinary people, they are reading for 1 hour. Go 2 hours, go 3 hours, because you must win. This year, you must be above the line. You must actually move above the line. I hope I've been able to say a lot of things at the same time, and I've also been able to convince you and not confuse you. And I've also been able to make you understand, and I've also been able to communicate the kind of mindset that you need as a woman who must win this year and beyond. So I'm going to pause for now and then take questions. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hate to interrupt wonderful sessions like this because you were breathing fire. I could feel the passion from my end. And I really hated that I had to cut in to say that your time was up, but we're running with time. Thank you so much for that amazing session. And right now we'll take a few questions. Because of our time, we'll take just 2 questions. Just 2 questions before we move into the next thing we have on our list. So do you have a question? What do you want our coach to talk about? Okay, I see someone has raised a hand. Liberator, I will bring you on now. And please ensure that you're in a quiet environment. If not, you can type your question. If your environment is noisy, please type your question. But I'll be bringing on Liberator right now. Please, Liberator, you have the opportunity to ask your question and have our host, our speaker answer your question right away.
Good morning, Ma.
Hello, Liberator. Good morning. Can I see your face?
I'm in a place where the environment is not really favorable.
Okay, that's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
So first off, I loved your teaching. It was amazing. I enjoyed the whole, like every single thing. But then I have this question. Said having positive mindset. It's good to have positive mindset and all that. Now, there are times when we try to have positive mindsets, and then people tell us that's toxic positivity, and they tell us that it's good to have positive mindset, but sometimes be truthful or sincere with yourself. Now, I want you to like draw the line between the whole positive mindset and then being sincere with yourself. That okay, this is it. This is it. Just being truthful to yourself. I just want you to just draw the line for positivity and sincerity with yourself. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, okay. That's a very beautiful question, and thank you. I'm so glad that you followed through to this point. So I want to say that we live in a world where people live their different truths. We live in a world where people want to throw their truth at you. Oh, you must be this, you have to be that, this is who you are. Don't let anybody define your positive for you. You are the woman here, you are the boss. You set your standard, you set your goals. Yes, there are times when you need to be realistic, and my being realistic is me being positive. It doesn't matter how bad things are. I firmly and strongly believe, it is my belief system, that things will work out fine and that everything I am going through is working out for my good. And you need to stay with people who are positive. Surround yourself with positive people, and not people that you're saying A and they're saying B. Let your truth be their truth. Because if you stay in a place where you're always having toxic energy, negativity, negative vibes, I can't thrive. And if there are people who are on your WhatsApp contact, my advice, sincere advice, Chidima, everyone knows me. They know that I am an advocate of blocking and deleting. So if there are people in your life, in your space, that are always telling you, oh, try and be realistic, that kind of thing. My being realistic is that I'm positive. There is no reality that I'm going to live in, other than the fact that whatever I am going through is going to work for my good. So if there are people who are toxic around your space, if there are people who are always saying, look at the reality, no. My reality is that everything is working together for my good. Delete them, starve them communication, let them not be the ones speaking to you. Look for people who are like-minded, connect with people who are like-minded. Of course, you will find them in this space. I believe everybody who is listening to me here has a positive mindset, because if you did not, you will not abandon all the goodies you had. You had people to hang out with, you had parties to attend, but you chose to be here. And that's a mindset I think, oh, I have to learn, I have to take in more knowledge because of where I'm headed for. So, my dear, I hope I've been able to answer your questions. This is your truth. Your truth is that I will always remain positive no matter what happens. And if nobody aligns to that, that's fine. I would always roll, and I will always hang around people who their truth is my truth. I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right. Any other question?
Yes, thank you so much for that response. I saw someone raising her hand before the question that just came in now from Edidion. Edidion, please, you have just a few minutes to ask your question now. Edidion, are you there?
I'm not sure she's here.
Okay, so
Sorry,
maybe
I think sorry, 1 minute. I think she dropped a question on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so she said, for someone who is always negative, even unconsciously, how can she improve on her mindset? That's the question the same Edidion dropped on YouTube. For someone who is always negative, even unconsciously, how can she improve on her mindset? Thank you.
Okay, now unconsciously, that's a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset. So I need you first of all get a mentor. Get someone that is living the life that you hope to live or you want to live. You can also send me a direct message. I can help you through. And then I talked about meditation, affirmations, and journaling. Affirmations and meditations are really amazing. Remove everything that spills negative, because when you talk about doing something unconscious, that means you've been long enough in a space or in an environment for you to start acting that way unconsciously. So replace every negative mindset, every negative atmosphere, every negative statement with a positive one. And it doesn't happen immediately. You have to be patient with yourself because it's a process, actually. So there are times you catch yourself saying things like, oh my God, I'm stupid. Immediately reverse it. Oh no, I'm not. I have the mind of Christ. I can do this. I have a clear head. I am smart. I'm intelligent. I can do this. Immediately always reverse your negativity or your negative statement. Stay in atmospheres that exude positivity. If there are songs you may need to listen to, if there are sermons, if there are podcasts, if there are teachings, we are online. YouTube is such an amazing resource for different positive or positivity as they were, right? So, just stuff yourself with everything positive. Get friends, make friends with people that are positive. Get vulnerable with your mentor. Tell them, this is what I'm dealing with. How do I get out of this? Meditate on good things. Journal a lot. Keep affirming to yourself. If possible, write your affirmations on a sheet of paper. Put them in places where you can see them. I have them my bedstand, on my reading table, on my wall, just places where you can see them and remind yourself, that this is who you are and nothing, and I mean nothing can take you away from it. Link up with people that are like, that you want to. I don't know, if you stay around people who are positive, sooner or later you catch that aura. That's what I can say. There's so many questions in the comment section. Okay, there's an anonymous. Okay, please, what if you keep making the same mistake over and over again and people keep complaining about it, and do you give up on changing? And how do I stop being negative? Oh my love, no. Do not give up on yourself. Giving up on yourself is going back to a place of having a fixed mindset. Really, there is nobody who cannot change. And coming from a very spiritual aspect, I would say that there's nobody God cannot change, and there's nobody the Holy Spirit cannot change. You may have to take your walk with God more seriously, and I'm saying this with my full chest. Everything I am today is as a result of my relationship with God and then men. The Holy Spirit is always there to teach us all things. You also have books, so many resources that can expose you and expand your mindset. You can do this. Do not give up on yourself. No. Never, ever give up on yourself. Keep at it. Keep learning. Oh, they complain about this and you're trying to fix it. That desire alone, that longing alone to change, I'm putting in the effort, putting in the work. Oh, they are complaining of your hot-tempered and all that. If you know the things that trigger your anger, stay away from them. If there are group discussions, decide to stay on your own. And just keep working on yourself. Keep working on yourself. Do not give up on yourself. I don't know if the guest speakers are here. Ma'am Tamara, if you can also put in a word or two in the comment section, I'll really appreciate that. She's asking, does she stop? Does she give up on herself? No, I would say don't give up on yourself. Keep putting in the work. Surround yourself with people, ask questions, get a mentor. Just be in a network of people who are very positive. I'm so sure it will rub off on you. I'm so sure. Okay, the other question is, what mindset do we have to develop to overcome fear, especially when one wants to venture into something new and pursue a dream? Affirmations, keep speaking it. Don't stop talking it. Don't stop talking. There's something about speaking into your environment. The more you speak into it, they are like spirits. Bible speaking says the words that we speak are spirits and they are alive. They are very much alive. The more you keep saying it, don't keep quiet on anything. Once the fear comes, rebuke the fear, repel the fear. Keep telling yourself, I am bold, I am courageous, I can do this. Find out ways. There's nothing you want to do people have not done. Whoever that is doing what you have done, find out how they started. Where was their starting point? How did they start doing it? And from there, you can always get a clue to what you want to do. I hope I've been able to answer the question.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was a huge pleasure listening to you and watching you speak. It was a blessing to listen to you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I know that some other people might have questions, but due to the fact that we're running with time and we still have 3 more powerful women waiting to speak, we will not be able to take more questions, but you can always reach out privately. I think she said you can reach out to her, so you can always reach out.
Yeah, just give anybody my number. I mean, anybody, of course, I would select who to reply based on how you come into my DM. So please, my number should be. Please do a proper introduction of yourself, and then let me know what your question is. I will always answer you.
Okay, thank you so much. So that's an added advantage, and please do not abuse this privilege. When you're approaching her, approach her like someone who has sense. I trust that God will help you to make that decision in Jesus' name. Amen. So right now we are moving into another powerful session. This one is making me super excited. Of course, I'm an excited person, but this one is double excitement because this particular lady, I have followed her closely and she does not even know that I'm following her. Now that's one of the beautiful things about being a person of influence. Your people are following you, but you may not be aware. This afternoon, we want to hear from our second speaker. And this person is no other person than our big mama, our own mama bestie. It is such a pleasure to have you this afternoon, ma. So I will go over her profile very quickly so that I will bring her on to speak to us on the next topic. So Madam Bestie Anafiati is a lawyer, entrepreneur, digital online business coach, women development consultant, and founder of Bestie Network Africa, a community that provides tools and opportunities to help professional and entrepreneurial women to build businesses and non-profit organizations across Africa. She is also the co-founder of Corporate Bestie, a business support and marketing firm that provides solutions to entrepreneurs, startups, SMEs, and corporations in Nigeria and Africa. The firm was recognized in 2018 as one of the top 100 emerging SMEs in Nigeria by Connect Nigeria, the British Council, and Union Bank. She will be speaking to us this afternoon on the topic, how to rise above the line in career. So you want to rise above the line in your career, this is the opportunity you have been waiting for. Ladies, and of course, men, if you're here, put your hands together once again as we bring to the podium our amiable mama, our digital ninja mama, the only Madam Bestie to speak to us this afternoon on how to rise above the line in our career. Remember how this goes. If you don't keep clapping, she will not emerge here. So put your hands together and keep clapping, keep doing that. Do it digitally and do it physically. We are seeing you in the spirit. So be doing it, keep clapping, keep shouting, keep owing until you see her face. And I mean that's about now.
Now, so right about now. So a big good afternoon to everyone. I want to apologize for two things. Number one, unfortunately my video will not be on. My apologies, but please bear with me. At least you can see my beautiful face as I speak. So thank you everyone. Thank you so much. My second apology would come in shortly. But first of all, Rose, I know you're following me. I'm also following your work, and you're doing an amazing work. I love you. I love all that you represent, and I'm so proud of you. And when I saw the flyer for the first time and saw that Meg was going to be one of the speakers, I was like, oh wow, amazing. Meg, you're doing an amazing work. I love all that you're doing and what you represent. When I saw the schedule and saw that you're coming before me, I just told myself, oh, the work is a lot easier because you're going to be setting the foundation for everything else that would flow in today's conference. So thank you to the organizers. Chidima, thank you so much. My second apology is that when Chidima reached out to me earlier on in the year, a lot of things were going on. And so even when, they asked for, a member of the team asked for my profile and photo, I wasn't really able to, I was able to really provide it. And reading my profile that you have, a lot of things have changed from then on my profile, and the things that I'm currently working on. But it's all good. And the reason that I couldn't really get to you guys to provide my profile at the time, and even the picture that you have of me, was because I lost my dad earlier on in the year. So a lot of things have just been moving very quickly and busy for me. But I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to be here. I've looked forward to having this session and being a part of this conference. So thank you, everyone. I can see a lot of people that I know and recognize their names in this event. So I want to say welcome to this session. We're going to have an amazing time. So even if you can't see my video, we're going to have an amazing time. And today, really, I'll be talking, and I'm going to, maximize our time so that I share my thoughts, and we also have a discussion, right? I would like to hear the thoughts of some of us in this room. And I love virtual meetings. I love the fact that wherever we are, we can contribute our voices to make a difference in the lives of people. And we're not limited by space, time, location. All those things do not matter when technology is involved. And so thank you again to the organizers for having me. And so we'll just go right into it. Let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Bestie Tamara Ati. My maiden name is Andafa. I am a lawyer by profession. I went to the university to study law, which I'm proud to be a lawyer, even though I'm not a litigation lawyer, but I work in the business and entrepreneurship technology ecosystem. I am the Chief Operations Officer at Innovation Growth Hub, which is a business, creative, and technology hub where we provide support to entrepreneurs and startups to grow their businesses using technology. I'm also the founder of and CEO of CorporateBestie.com. So Corporate Bestie, initially when we started in 2017, where it was like a boutique service, an agency that provides business support and digital marketing services. But over the years, we've transitioned so amazingly, in my opinion. And I'm so proud of everything within the last few years that we've been able to achieve and what we're looking to achieve soon. So currently, Corporate Bestie is an online platform that helps founders and entrepreneurs to incorporate and launch their businesses easily and without stress. So, and essentially what we're looking to achieve is to we're targeting 100,000 businesses to get formalized so that they can get access to funding, so that they can employ more people, create more jobs, and contribute to the national GDP. I'm also a business consultant. I work with the Abia SME Microfinance Bank. I'm also a mentor at the Tony Lumili Foundation program, and a whole lot of other things I've been doing. I'm currently a founder in training at the Founder Institute, where I'm learning how to build fast, global, and scalable startups. And it's been such an amazing experience. So I'm married. I'm married to a very cute, beautiful, handsome man, and we have a very beautiful daughter together. Her name is Amelia. And so right into the core of what we'll be talking about today. If you can hear me, if you're still here, I want you to type 1,000 in the comment section. Just type 1,000. Let me know that you're ready for our session. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ready? Yes, keep it coming. 1,000. Chidima, hi. Joy, Ewa, Princess, Dennis, Rudy, Rose, keep it coming. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So, like I said, I'm just going to share 3 thoughts that I want to provoke in our minds, and essentially 3 things that I've been thinking about, 3 insights and wisdom. I'm going to share them with you on how to rise above the line in your career. And the first thing I want to say is, and as we have this discussion, if you have any questions, just put them in the comment section, and then I'll attend to them at the end of this of my speaking. But if there are questions you have, put them in the comment section. If there are points that I make that resonates with you, also put them in the comment section. Okay. So the first thing really is to say that there are a lot of lines, and when we say lines, like limitation, and I see them like in sports, when you're running the game of hurdles, right? You come to the field and there are bars with hurdles that you have to cross every single time. Sometimes you run towards them and you're able to jump above them. Other times you run towards them and you break through them, right? Other times you run towards them and nothing happens, and so they don't give way, and so you fall back, right? Or you fall down. And so in life generally, I think that we all have hurdles and lines and limitations that are placed against us, whether there are financial lines, they could be family lines, they could be like a background lines based on where you're coming from, your family background. They could be religious lines, they could be educational lines. There are just so many things that we have to cross over. And in a general sense, it's not based on gender, right? It's not because you're male or female in a general sense. Okay, but I'll get to a specific sense as it relates to women, because the lines against women are even bolder, thicker, and a lot of them, right? So there's levels of lines and limitations and things that as people in the world, we have to cross and we have to break through and we have to jump over. But specifically, as they relate to women, these lines, like I said, are a lot thicker. They're like, if it's wood, if you have to, jump a wood, the wood, most like, depending on your weight and your size, the wood, if you hit against the wood, it might break. But sometimes these lines are not wooden lines. They are made of steel. They're made of iron, right? And sometimes it would seem like it's something you cannot jump over, because when you try, it hurts you. It possibly, gives you injuries and wounds. And I'm just trying to set a foundation so that we all know that these things are real, and it happens to every one of us in different fields. Sometimes these lines are our mental, they deal with our minds. Sometimes they are as a result of things that we have been exposed to, the places we're coming from, the environment we grew up in, the kinds of relationships we've allowed into our spaces, right? So these lines are real, and every one of us, including myself, I have had to deal with different types of lines, and at different stages of my lives, jump over them. Some stages I'm sometimes break through them, right? And there's and on certain levels, there's still lines that I, as a person, still have to get to cross over. So we all have all these experiences, and if as I speak, and you feel like there are lines and there are things holding you back, and there are limitations, things that are causing you not, you believe that there's something greater that you've been called into the world to do. There's so much you want to achieve, but you can't seem to get into that space, right? You can't seem to be able to break through that limitation. And I want to say to you that you're not alone. Every single person here, all the speakers, we've all had to deal with one line, one limitation, one barrier, one bias or the other. But the fact that we're here today, it means that we've been able to jump past certain types of barriers. And that's why we're here, to speak to you, to encourage you, to inspire you, motivate you to also go past those lines and barriers and limitations. Okay, so that's a foundation. But one of there's so many lines, right? The cultural lines. Oh, as a woman, you're supposed to, at a certain age, you're supposed to be married. As a woman, at a certain age, you're supposed to give birth to kids. There are political lines. Women are not supposed to be leaders in these sectors. There are educational lines, there are academic lines, there are business lines. Women are not supposed to get into certain types of businesses. There are career lines. Women are not meant to be CEOs and MDs of certain organizations. Okay, there are so many types of lines, and then there are also religious lines. And in my post on International Women's Day, and I was trying to emphasize that there's also the line of religion that holds us back. But the biggest line that would limit any woman, whether you're building a business or a career, you're in marriage, you're in academics, you're in school, or whatever sector you're in at this time in your life, the biggest limitation or the biggest line you would have to cross is the limit and the limitations you put on yourself. They're the ones you place on yourself. They're the ones that you, by yourself, not somebody else, not bestie, not that man in the village, not your father, not your pastor. They are the ones that you by yourself put on yourself. Okay? And it is from the point where you break through your own limiting beliefs, your own limiting mindsets, your own limitations. That's when your breakthrough comes in. That's when you're free. That's when you can jump through all the other hurdles. Now I'm going to use the example again of someone at the at a sporting complex trying to get through hurdles. The first hurdle you have to jump through is your own personal mindset hurdle. Those mindset that tell you I'm not good enough. Those mindset that tell you I'm not smart enough. Those mindset that tell you it's somebody else is the one that is supposed to do it, not me. The ones that move responsibility from you, from yourself, to someone else. Some of us who have moved responsibility for ourselves to our parents. We've moved responsibilities to our spouses, to our husbands, to our in-laws, to our friends. And rather than becoming the best version of yourself, you allow someone determine how far you can go. Okay? And today, that is the first level I want us to break through or to break down. And I loved everything Meg already said. Okay, Mrs. Meg already said. But that's the first level. And to get to that point, you must be self-aware. You must be self-aware. So number one point that I want to share with us is self-awareness, the power of self-awareness, the strength in it, and how important it is to know yourself. And I love this quote by, I think it's Pythagoras, one of the ancient Greek philosophers. And the quote goes, "Man, know thyself." In this particular instance, young woman, know thyself. Young girl, know thyself. And he says, know thyself, then thou shalt know the universe and God. Know yourself, then you can know all the things that what the world is about, and then God. Until you get to the point where you understand the woman you are, there's not much you can do. Until you get to the point where you realize that I can do all things. Until you get to the point where you realize that I can be whoever I want to be. I can get to the top of my career. I can earn this much in my business. I can earn this much in the job that I do. Until you get to that point when the limitations that are there are no longer from you, then your breakthrough is near. Okay, so the first point is to know thyself. And in knowing yourself, I'm going to just, raise a few questions that you need to ask yourself. Number one question you need to ask yourself in the journey of knowing yourself is, who are you? Who are you? I know I'm here to talk about career, right? And how limiting beliefs and lines, how to rise above them. But this is the first point, really. Who are you? What are you made of? What interests you? Why are you here? Okay, what are you doing in the world? Of all people to be in this world, why are you here? And if you're able to answer those questions, they're not questions to answer today. I want you to write them down, go back home, and meditate on them. One of the moments I found to be very powerful in my meditation periods is the first when I wake up in the morning and when I'm about to go to bed. When I wake up in the morning, the first thoughts in my head are the ones that set the pace for my day. And the thoughts that I have right when I fall asleep are the thoughts that help me to become better for the next day. Okay, so I need you to take back these questions and think about them at your different times, whether it's in the morning, whether it's late at night before you fall asleep, whether it's in your own quiet time, whether it's in your prayer time. Get into yourself, desire to know who God has created you to be. And really, the first point of self-awareness is to know God. If you don't know the purpose for which you're here, and I believe that we're all here because God sent us here. We did not manufacture ourselves. There's a greater being that decided that this person needs to be in this part of the world at this time because there are things I need them to do. And until you discover those things, you'll just be living aimlessly, right? I lost my dad on the 9th of January, and it was buried just February 26th. Was it 26 or 27? Just last week. Or anyway, last month. And from the day he passed away till right now, as I speak to you, one thought that has really provoked my mind is how the essence. So someone came to my house that on the day he died, and she was crying, a young lady. She was crying and she was saying things like, who will I run to when I have this? How can I? No, she was lamenting. She was in a lot of pain. Even at that point, I felt like, I felt very sorry for her. It was my dad that died though, but I was feeling sorry for somebody else who was crying even more than myself, the child. But it was because of the value she had gotten from his life. Because of so he had come into the world, fulfilled his purpose and left, but left a mark in our life that was so deep enough that somebody that's not even a father, and she was lamenting in that respect. So it made me think about how important it is that as we live our lives, we're not living aimlessly, we're living purposefully and becoming the man or the woman God has created us to be. Because there are certain people and lives that we have been sent to the world to touch, things that we've been called to do, assignments we've been called to fulfill. And until we get into those moments quickly enough, we will not be the best versions of ourselves. Okay, so my challenge to you this morning is to identify what your purpose is. Why are you here? Why are you here? Who are you? Who do you belong to? What is the core of your life? Who are the people you've been called to do? And I'm going to give us a few pointers to get there. So take an inventory of yourself. And I have a tool called the Value Capital Calculator. You don't have to be 50-year-old to do certain things. And I'm so proud of the young women I know. I'm proud of you, Rose. I'm grateful for you, Chidima. Over the last few years, I've been doing women conferences, and I've not done it in 2 years, FemPower, but I don't feel pressure to do it, because a lot of young women are doing it. There's a lot of knowledge spreading because of the work we're all doing. Okay, so I really commend you. I support you, and I pray that this vision continues and it continues to succeed and bring more people into the light. Right. So I have a tool called the Value Capital Calculator, and it's a calculator I put together, I think maybe about 2-3 years ago. I think it was before I had my child, Amelia. She'll be 3 this year. So roughly around 3 to 4 years ago. And value capital is a word I coined, and it simply means the sum total of your skills, your gifts, your experiences, your talents, your network, and all the things that make you you, and how you're able to maximize and harness them to create value for others in a way that also creates income, impact, and influence for you. Okay. And in the Value Capital Calculator, a few things that you need to ask yourself and you need to be clear on. The first is your strengths. What are your strengths? What are the things you're good at doing? And that includes your academic qualification. If you're done with school and you have a degree, that is your strength. You can take that certificate, walk into any space and get a job, no matter how, even if you had a 2-2 or a 3rd class, there must be something you can do with that certificate, right? So your strengths, maybe you're good with speaking, maybe you're good with public speaking, maybe your talent is that you're good with food, you know how to handle food, you know how to turn any raw material into something phenomenal that people enjoy. Maybe it's that you have a sense of style and you're able to turn a fabric, you look at the person's body and you turn the fabric into an amazing design. It could just be anything. And then you have a network of friends or colleagues who are intelligent. You can bring them together, or you're even able to coordinate or mobilize people. Okay. So think about yourself, think about your life, think about everything you've been doing all the years up to this point, and articulate them and let them form your strength. Okay, it may just be 2 you've identified. It's fine. You may even look at yourself critically and be able to identify 20. That's amazing. Okay, so your strengths, they could also be your talents, the things you're passionate about, your network, your skills, your experience, your expertise. Okay, they form your strength. The second thing to look at when you're calculating your value, when you're identifying who you are and you're, knowing yourself, the next thing to do is to consider the opportunities that exist when it comes to your strengths. When it comes to your strengths, what for each of the things you know how to do, what opportunity exists for that? So let's say, for example, you know how to cook. People compliment you a lot that your food is delicious. If you make jollof rice for a year, everybody will chop their finger, right? So that is your strength. What opportunity exists? How can you turn that strength into an opportunity to make you a person of value? Because everyone is looking for people of value. The world, in the workplace, in business, in the family, in marriage. So it's called the value capital calculator. So the same way you have money as capital, you can use your own value, the things you know how to do, as a capital to get results for others and for yourself, right? So opportunities, look at yourself, the things you know how to do, how can you apply them to make you a person of value in the workplace, in business, in your family, in your career? So if you know how to cook, it means in business, you can start a business with that skill. If you know how to cook, it means you'll be able to, you can start a career as a chef, maybe cooking for a restaurant. Okay. So identify opportunities that you can apply to using your strength. The next thing is potential challenges. Sometimes we see opportunities and we're so excited about them, and we forget the challenges that may come with it. Because the truth is, when you're able to think ahead, you predict to a large extent some challenges. So I'll take the example of the hurdles again. So if you're going for like hurdle race, right, and there are like 10 bars that you have to cross, from the point before you take on that race and you're standing in front, you already can tell that, okay, these are the number of hurdles I would have to cross to get to the line, to the finish line. And if you're able to stand from that point and say, once I cross this, I have this number of time before I raise my leg again to cross. I have this number of time before I, so I have to make sure I strengthen my mind and my feet, so that when I get to the point of crossing, you don't just keep running again, because you just run and fall down because you're not calculating. So thinking ahead of what the potential challenges are would help you to plan forward and reduce your failure rate. So what are the potential challenges you would face in that career path, in that your skill that you're looking to turn into an opportunity? Once you have that clearly spelled out, you are already on your way to succeed. And then challenges, yes, there are challenges, but there are also ways to mitigate those challenges. And so the next point would be is corrective measures. So maybe some of the challenges you have as a person who want to, maybe you want to get a job and you're not good with speaking. You don't know how to engage with an audience or with the interviewers. Okay, that could be a challenge. You're not good with speaking, you're shy, you're afraid. Maybe as you're preparing for that interview, your heart is already beating. Or maybe your challenge is that you feel like your degree, maybe you have a 2 or a 3rd class, and so you're feeling unqualified. What do you do in such instances? As it comes to corrective measures, you identify other things, other strengths you can draw on, other skills you can acquire to improve your chances. You can draw from your network of friends. Maybe you have a friend whose uncle is the owner of the organization. You can reach out to them. There's nothing wrong. The worst they would say is no. And so what? So if they say no, that's it. No. Okay, fine. Move on to the next, right? So identify corrective measures on strengths to put you together to help you advance further, so that you don't just say, oh, I have this challenge, oh, I'm afraid, so I can't do it. No, you're afraid, and so what? How do you correct that fear? And I like the question one of the ladies asked, right? I think I wrote it down. Yeah, she talked about overcoming fear. So one of the things that I have used, because I also get afraid, we all get afraid at some point in our lives. And I also get afraid. But one of the things that helps me, a number of things. Number one, I remember who I am. And so that's why it's the first thing. I am not, yes, I'm a young woman in, female body, but my life is not in the world. I know where I come from. I'm born of God. I'm God's child. I am an ambassador of heaven. Yes, I'm afraid sometimes, but when I remember who is my father and who created me, who is that devil? What's that limiting mindset that cannot give way? So remember who you are. So, and that really helps me. So if you have not come to the point where you understand who you are, understand all you're made of, there's some places I need to get into or speak at, and maybe seeing the caliber of people. Sometimes there's this mindset that comes, oh, you're not good enough, everybody here is bigger than you, they're more experienced than you. But I draw back to who I am, first, as a child of God, and second, everything I have done so far. I didn't get here by mistake. If I was invited for an event, if I was invited to speak at a program or to even address people, if I was invited to a meeting, it means I have value to give. And because I have value to give, I also have value to give here. So understanding yourself breaks down some of those limitations, okay? And so that's one. Another point for overcoming fear is affirmations, and Meg mentioned it. Affirmations, there's a lot of, the Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence. Out of it are the issues of life. If you allow some negative thoughts like fear of failure, fear of what people will say, fear of criticism, fear that I don't have money, my parents are poor, I don't have the good. If you let all those things settle into your mind, you would break yourself down, and it will be your fault. It will not be because of the society. It will not be because of anybody. It will be because you don't want to succeed. And so affirmations help you to renew your mind. And I would advise you, if you after the session, go back to watch everything Meg said. That would help a lot. And also, thirdly, for overcoming fear, make sure you have the right people around you, because if you are fearful and you have another friend that is fearful, both of you would die in your room or in that place before the next day, because you're both transmitting fear up and down. But if you're afraid and you have people around you who tell you, why are you afraid? Are you not the one that did this before? Are you not the one that have you? You have cheerleaders to help you get out of that fear. You'd go a lot faster. Okay, so essentially, okay. So the third, is it the third? Okay, the fourth thing when knowing yourself is, especially when you're looking to advance in the career space, maybe to get a job, maybe to get a promotion, right? Another thing in the value capital calculator I would share with us is resources needed. So after you work on the corrective measures, the next thing to work on is resources needed. So for each of the strengths and each of the opportunities you have, what are the resources you need to excel? Sometimes you would notice that you need a mentor. Sometimes when you assess yourself, you'll see that you need money. Sometimes when you assess yourself, you would see that the resource you need is people. Okay? But the earlier you're able to identify all of these things, the better you will succeed. So identify all the resources you need. Sometimes it's a certificate you need. Maybe you need to get a master's degree to further qualify you, okay, and so on and so forth. So that's a few points of mine, when it comes to being self-aware. How many minutes do I still have? Okay, I think I have just a few minutes left. So I'll just talk through the two other points quickly. Number two thought I want to share with us is for you to rise above the lines in your career. First, I said be self-aware, right? But secondly, service first. Be willing to serve. Be willing to work. Be willing to give value to the people. If you, after identifying all the value that you have, take that value and serve it to people. And the fastest way to learn is to serve. The more you serve, the more you learn, the more you become better, the more you add more value to yourself. There's a lot of there's a story I would have loved to share with you, but I'll just let it be because of our time. But importantly, my service year, my year of National Youth Service was the transformation for me, because I didn't just consider it as a time to move away from my parents' house to live in a different location and so on and so forth. I saw it as a moment to serve, to learn. And that opened the floodgate of opportunities, of access, of network, right, for me. And I want to encourage everyone here. If there's something you need, if you think that at this point in your life, you want to become better, look for people who look like the future you're looking to get into and serve them. Serve them, put yourself under their leadership and be valuable to them. Don't be like the people who go online and say, oh, Ma, I would like you to mentor me. You don't know what exactly you want them to mentor you on. You're not clear about it. And when they eventually give you their space and time, you mess it up. Don't be like those kind of people. If you're going to advance, be willing to put in the work to serve. I'll ask you to read the story of Joseph and how is, level of Joseph and David, and how much from the Bible, if I may add, their ability to serve and how it took them into the palace, right? So the third point I'm going to make is that in order for you to rise above the lines in your career is to understand that the people you have around you are your gifts, they're your blessings, they're your greatest assets. Whether they're mentors, whether they're colleagues, whether they're your bosses, your senior colleagues, whether they're your family members, they're your blessing, they're your greatest asset. And be able to don't be the kind of person who there's something that I used to see on social media. I am my own person. Like people say that I made myself, things like that. I've forgotten the way they say it. But don't be a solo walker. Thank you. I am self-made. Thank you. And that's a lie. You cannot be self-made. You're not self-made. If you're self-made, how about your parents who gave birth to you? How about the people who have helped you succeed up to this point, right? So be mindful of relationships. Actively build relationships. Actively invest in relationships. Because one of the things I've learned since I had my child, is that it takes a village to raise a child. You need people. It takes a village. When that quote or that proverb is not false. It really takes a village to raise a child, number one. It takes a village to build a career. You need people who are willing to open the door for you to say, come in, You have something to give. And sometimes they don't even really see that you have, like, you've not done anything to show that you have something to give, but they just sense that this person looks responsible, they have integrity, they look like they have a sense of where they want to be, and they are willing to open the door for you, right? So sometimes they don't just open the door for you to let you into the room. Sometimes they give you a seat. Sometimes they don't just give you any seat on the table. They give you a leadership seat, but you don't just, you don't disappear from your space and just appear there. It takes people connecting you, and it also takes service. And so as you think about your life after this meeting, when you go to bed tonight, as I always do, when you go to bed tonight, as you lie on your bed, just the few moments, there's some people who they lay on the bed and they just sleep off. I don't understand how they do it. When I lay on my bed, I think I spend another 30 minutes meditating at least, and praying, and just thinking about everything that has happened in my day, to see where I went off and what I need to do better, So as you go, if you're like me, even if you're not like me, but as you go out of this conference today, think about the people around you. Think about the people you have around you. Who are the people who make up your village? Because relationships are very important. Your relationships, the kind of people you have around you, are able to make or mar you. The kind of people that you have would either lift you up or bring you down or keep you on the same level. And really, there's no stagnancy, because while you're saying you're stagnant, people are moving, the world is moving. So at the end of the day, you're still moving backwards. So make sure that you have the right people around you, and some people, the kinds of people to have around you. And it's not really about beauty or wealth. You have to have fine people around you so that when you're taking selfies, everybody will be pretty, right? It's not about that. It's not about having wealth is fine, right? I love money. I love to have money. I want to be wealthy because I know what I can do with that wealth and how much impact I can make with that wealth, right? So it shouldn't be about having wealthy people around you. Those things are material. But the things that are eternal, the things that last, the things that make sense, that money cannot buy, is kindness. Have people around you who are kind, and be a person who's kind as well, right? People who are positive, optimistic, who know that the challenges I face today, it's not the end of the world. It's, it's part of the process. They're not people that would say, hey, your own don't finish. Because of this mistake that you made, nothing again for you. You will never get married. You will never go to school. You will never. And unfortunately, we have parents who do that to us, right? And many times there's nothing you can do about it. Not like there's nothing you can do about it, but you can't change them. You can't change them. But you can change how you react to it, how you position yourself, how you reset your mind, right? How you accept that negativity. But essentially, actively look for positive people who will say, so you want to do this thing? It's easy now. You can do it now. It's not you again, right? People will encourage you. Okay. Look for people who are honest, people who are not afraid to say the truth, even when it will hurt your feelings. People who will call your laziness out and say, my friend, they try. You're too lazy. I don't like it. You better change. People will call you out and say, why are you in this kind of relationship? It would not take you far. And they are honest and they're truthful. Look out for people who have integrity. People who say, I will be at this place at this exact time, and they will be there. I will do this at this particular time, or I will do this in this way, and they will do it in that way. Right? And even if they are not able to do it for one reason or the other, they are able to say, oh, I'm sorry, or I thought I was able to, I was going to do this, but I couldn't. And this is why. Maybe they may not be able to explain everything to you, right? But they are able to be honest enough to say, I thought I had the capacity to do this at this time, but unfortunately I could not. Please, my apologies. Right? People who have integrity. Look for people who love God. Look for people who acknowledge God and who love him, because as I wish I could speak my language. I can't even speak my language. But clearly, but as big as the world is, if there's a person you know that says there is no God, as the universe is like this, as you're beautiful like this, the sky, the trees, animals, there's so much happening in the world, and somebody would say there's no God. So who created everything here that we see? And you're friends with that kind of person, I don't know how far you go, right? So, and not just people who acknowledge that there's a God, but people who love God, people who are willing to, because God said it, I will do it. People who are driven by God, people who love Jesus. And I know that the people who are not of the Christian denomination, right? And they love God. They have all of these other qualities that we have. Because they are not Christian doesn't mean you cannot be friends with them. That's my opinion. Other people have, different opinions. But when I see people who love God, they may not be Christians, they may be Muslims, but I know that they love God. They are kind. They are positive. They are truthful. They have some of the qualities I'm mentioning here. They do not kill, right? You can associate with them, but also know your boundaries. Also be able to set boundaries with relationships. Another point I want to make is look for people, be friends with people who are willing to take risks. We associate with people who are willing to take, they're not afraid, because life itself is a risk. When we wake up every morning, take our bath. If you're even living in Nigeria, the fact that you live in Nigeria, there's a risk. You may just be walking on your way now and something would happen, God forbid. You may be rushed to the hospital. The hospital is a risk. So life is a risk generally, but look out for people who are willing to take the risk. I'm sure that organizing this event was a risk, putting this conference together. But it's in putting it together, you'd identify a lot about yourself, about other people, and it improves you, right? So that's for Chidima. But look for people who are willing to take the risk. And even when you take the risk and they encourage you, to take the risk, and I'm laughing because I have an amazing husband who encourages me to fail. One of the things he loves to say is fail fast. Instead of saying, oh, what if I fail? Fail now. At least you know how to do it differently the next time. So look for people who, even when you fail, they would allow you, they are still there to support you. I've spent a lot of money building my business. And when things don't work out as the way they were meant to work out, I have somebody who I will still go to and say, babe, please come and give me 500K first. He'll say, but this I tell you to, this I tell you to do it like this or do it like that, right? And it will still be supportive and say, okay, do it like this differently. Okay, you can adjust it in this way. And they're able to support you even when you fail. So look for people who would push you, but even when they push you to succeed and you fall, they're able to say, okay, sorry. They help you stand up. They help you improve. Okay, they allow you to take risk, and they're also there for you when you fall. So look out for those kind of people. And I'm going to end with this closing note, and it's really about marriage. And I was having a conversation with with a friend of mine yesterday. I was attending the Economy conference here in Lagos, And I was saying to her how critical it is that for a woman building a career, for a career woman or a professional woman, how it's important to have the right support. And support in this sense that I'm talking about are in two folds: in marriage and in childcare. In marriage and in childcare. Because you are an ambitious professional, you are pursuing after your career, trying to build, taking all the courses, attending meetings late nights, and you just want to build, you're laser focused on building, because that's how I am. You're just in that mode, and you don't want anything to distract you. But to have the right support about the kind of man you marry and the kind of support you get, because especially if you're one who you're looking to raise kids immediately, get help. Don't let the society tell you, oh, well, if you get house help or nanny, means you're lazy. No. If you have the resources to pay or to spend on that childcare, to get a nanny to help you, please invest it, because it accelerates you faster. It gives you time to do the things that you need to do. Okay? And but the issue of the man you marry, it's very critical. I don't know how best to drive the point home. But if you marry wrong, you would have regrets for the rest of your life. You'll have regrets for the rest of your life. So I want to encourage us to make sure that as you take off the limits, in your life, in your career, in your business, that you know yourself a lot more, serve, and then connect, or put together the right community of support system around your life. And I believe that you would succeed, and I pray that whatever you do going forward would experience grace and success in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you everybody.
Thank you so much. That was powerful. That was an all-rounder session. Everywhere was touched, both marriage. Thank you so much, ma'am. We truly appreciate your sacrifice of being here and your wonderful session. Thank you so much, ma'am. So right now we want to take questions, but before we do, I, on behalf of everyone here, want to condole with you, ma'am. I'm not even aware that you lost your dad, but I thank God for the kind of strength that He has given you. And I pray that God will grant his soul peace and eternal rest in his bosom. Please take heart, ma. You're stronger than this, and the hand of God will definitely sustain.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so now we want to take a few questions because of our time. We'll take only 2 questions because I can see that our next speaker is already seated in the house, waiting to pour the fire on us. So please, 2 questions. If you have a question, kindly raise your hand if you are in a conducive atmosphere, or if you're not, please ask your question by typing it as a comment. Please, we need only 2 questions. 2 questions now. You can raise your hand or you drop it in the chat so that our speaker can address it before we move into the next session that we have. Who has a question? Who wants to ask a question? Who wants more clarification in one of the things that our speaker has spoken about today? Please drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat or raise your hand to ask your question if you have any. Should we move on? That means everything was clear. Wow. Maybe I said this session was an all-rounder session and it was very powerful, ma. Thank you so much, ma. I can't see any question here. And I'm assuming that means for now, there is no question. But if in the future or later on you get your question, I think there may be an opportunity for you to ask it. Okay. So thank you so much, ma. We truly appreciate you once again. Thank you so much, ma. Is it moving or is it not moving? Okay. There's a question here from Edidion Udo to okay. Hold on, please. Let me read the question. There's a question here. What advice do you have for introverted ladies here on building good relationships?
Okay. So the question is, what advice do I have for introverted ladies here on building good relationships? Okay, so the first thing I want to clear is that it's not really about whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, right? Because I'm also an introvert. But when it comes to relationships, again, in my opinion, you must be able to know first of all, who you are and the kind of people you need in your space. I want to assume that when you say relationships, do you mean, like marriage or dating, right? But essentially, you need to be clear about the kinds of people, who you are, and the kinds of people you need. Okay, friendships. Okay, good. Who you are and the kinds of people you need into your space. For someone like me, so I'm going to use myself as a practical example. I am an introvert. I'm an introverted person. I prefer to be in my own space, right? If I go out, or when I do go out, I'm not the type that would walk all over the place trying to make new friends, just like that. I am very intentional. If I go into an event, I have a sense of the kinds of people I'll meet and what's the objective of that event, right? So when I get into that space, I can say, okay, yeah, I'm going to connect with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And I go to meet them. Being an introvert is different from being shy or being afraid, because I've also seen that there are some people who they put on the coat of being an introvert, and they're not able to speak up in public. They're shy. And what brings shyness? They're afraid of what people will say when they open their mouths to speak. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of failure. So you first need to work on your mind and remove those things that hold you back from speaking up. So, okay, some more clarity to what the issue for me is. Usually approaching someone I feel I can allow or wish to have in my space, initiating the conversation. Good. So you need to, so what you're saying is you are afraid of, reaching out to people or even to start a conversation, right? But why? Dig deep. Why are you afraid? Are you afraid that when you open your mouth, they would say, oh, she doesn't even talk well, or he or she doesn't even, what kind of voice is that? So it has to be something you're telling yourself, even before whoever you're going to meet tells you. You've already conditioned that yourself that something is going to go wrong when you speak, when you sit with them, when you chat with them, when they start to ask you questions, right? So the first step is to work on yourself. Work on your own perception of yourself. What do you think about this? Do you really love yourself? And I'm saying this as a general note. Do you really love yourself? Do you love how you speak? Let's say you don't. Go change it. Right? I grew up in Warri, but does it sound like I'm a Warri girl from the way I speak? No. But I can wear my Warri coat, right? When I'm in the right environment. So knowing yourself and digging deep into, who you want to become and who you're becoming. It's not about being fake. I'm not being fake. The way this is now my normal self. But it's because let me tell you, when I studied at the University of Benin. I studied law. When I got into Uniben, I met a lot of other, people outside of my worry community, people from Lagos, Abuja, just other people that, exposes you to how different the world is. And I remember saying words in a certain way and they would laugh at me. But when they laugh at me, they would also say, it's not. So for example, it's not church, it's church, right? So they would say it correctly and I've gotten the correct way to say it. So next time when I speak with them, I won't say it in my worry way again. So I've learned something. So you need to get to the point where you're not, don't criticize yourself too much. Acknowledge your weaknesses, the parts where you're not good at, but don't beat yourself over it. Desire a growth mindset. Yes, I'm not doing it well at the moment, but I will be better. Yeah, maybe you sometimes it's the way you dress and you get into a space and you see that other people look so nice and you begin to feel shy. Oh, if I go there now, they'll say, what kind of dress is this girl wearing? Okay, next time when you get into those spaces, dress appropriately. But let's say you're even there, condition your mind. Sure, you look fine now. Before you left the house, you saw yourself that you were looking fine, right? So condition your mind and tell yourself, I look presentable. I am beautiful in every way. When I open my mouth to speak, I speak the right things. I'm a person of value. The people around me desire to speak to me. And so when you condition your mind to think the right things, there's no kind of setting you cannot, fit into or stand out in a positive way and not in a negative way. So in terms of building friendships, understand who you are, understand what you desire, the kinds of friendship you want. Identify people who have that thing you're looking for. Devoid yourself of any negativity that would sabotage yourself from building those valuable relationships, and go build those relationships. I would recommend a book to you, and it's called Success Runs in Our Race. It's by George Fraser. So it's on Amazon, but I don't know how many of us, have access to Amazon Kindle, or you can look out for the book and purchase it. It's very good for networking, and it would help you to build relationships. Thank you. I think I saw another question. The issue of building relationships, many times I feel I want to connect with people, but I'm truly afraid of being vulnerable to anyone. How do I go about this? Okay, so it still comes down to what I was saying now. So I would recommend that book again, Success Runs in Our Race by George Fraser. So please purchase the book and read it. Spend time reading, digesting. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. So please take the time to read that book that was just recommended, because when you read a book, you rub minds with the person who has written that book. Thank you so much, ma'am, for recommending that book and for your wonderful session. So right now we are moving into the networking and interactive session. We have had two powerful speakers address us since morning, and we have two more people waiting to address us. But the thing is, what have you learned from the two speakers who have spoken so far? What is your main takeaway? We're going to do this for only 10 minutes. So in 10 minutes, I want you to type in the comment section, in the chat box, tell us what your takeaway, main takeaway, your key takeaway, the bus, the points that has entered your head, your aha moment, that moment that you said, wow. We want to know what that moment is. So we want you to tell us in the chat box. I am reading, and I will be reading. I am waiting to see you respond to this particular thing I just said, and I will read out the ones that I catch. We're doing this for just 10 minutes before we move into the next powerful session that we have. So before, while Mama Bestie was speaking, I saw the next speaker catwalk majestically into the room. And I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to welcoming her for a powerful session. But that doesn't mean we should not, take a look back into the sessions that we have had before we enter the future and digest the ones that she and the other speaker has to give us. So please, let's go. What have you learned so far? What is your key takeaway? What is that thing that made your heart ponder? What is your aha moment? What is the particular thing that has given you the most moment? I want to hear from you. I'm waiting to see the first person that will type her own response or his or her own response. What is that thing that you love so much about this conference? What is your main takeaway from the two speakers that have spoken to us? The first speaker spoke to us, Mrs. Magdalene Carly spoke to us on the mindset of the winning lady. She went so deep explaining what mindset is and the types of mindset and how you can develop the right mindset. And now Mama Bestie just concluded her presentation where she spoke about how you can rise above the line in your career. So what did you learn? What did you take away? Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. What did you take away? What are your main takeaways? I'm watching. I've not seen anybody reply. I've not seen anyone reply. So give me some responses. I want to see you. I want to see your response. What have you learned so far? While we're waiting for that to come in, I want to give a special shout out to all the men in here. Yes, okay, the biggest takeaway for me so far has been the value capital calculator. Great, the value capital calculator. Yes. Chidima Ezema says she has learned to have an abundance mindset. Beautiful. An abundance mindset is the one that rises above scarcity. The mindset that tells you that the world is so big, the universe is so limitless. Yeah, and Chidima Cynthia says she loves making observations a lot. And she said, I love making observations a lot, and I have seen that one stuff that we as ladies suffer a lot is the idea of pride, both the big and small, especially the ones that feel like they have risen above the line. Therefore, how do we deal with this issue? Okay, this is a question. How do we deal with this issue? Okay, I think we'll get to that later. I loved the mindset section, says Joy Udochukwibe. I was rekindled with the fire that it is not about my circumstance, but about what mindset I hold of myself and my activities. Beautiful. Thank you, Joy Udochukwu, for that observation, for that takeaway point. I'm waiting for more. So while I wait, let me conclude on what I was saying, the shout out I was giving. I am giving a special shout out to all the men in this conference. This is a females conference, but now you are here as a man, and I know the reason that you're here is because you also want to rise above the line in your own life. And just like Ma'am Bestie said, that lines exist everywhere, so it's not just about the females, also the males also have their own lines. So thank you for being here, and thank you for lending your ear to all the lessons that we have had so far. Okay, there's a question from YouTube. How can one sustain healthy friendships, both in business and personal life? I think she brushed this particular part when she said that you should serve with your skills. You shouldn't be a person who hoards their skills. So when you have realized or understood who you are, the next thing is to serve. Look for someone who is doing well, someone who is the future that you want, the future that you look forward to, and begin to serve them with your skills. Okay, so is that all? Is that all the takeaway that we have for today? Is that all the key takeaway points that we have? I refuse to believe that. My mindset refuses to accommodate that. So let's take a few more minutes and do that. And while I'm waiting for more responses, I want to say this. The reason that we're having this conference is for you to rise above the line, above limitation. It is not a call for you to begin to fight a particular gender. There's something that I have seen online. I've seen some women do. When you talk about some things, they just go into fighting a particular gender. If you are hot or you are affected by someone's action or someone has offended you in the past, please take some time off and work on the solution to your problem. Work on your feelings and work on your emotions. Please do not take it as an advantage to dismiss the validity of or the credibility of every other person. I know we understand what I mean. Let's say a man hurt you in the past. Do not bank on that and begin to say that men are scum or all men are scum. It was only one man who hurt you. It wasn't all the men. So do not take the action of one person and dismiss the rest of the folk. I'm sure you understand. So rise above the line in your career, in your own life, and rise above the line that you have placed on yourself, because there is always the emphasis on the line that you have placed on yourself. Because at the end of the day, it is not about what anybody does. It's about what you do and how you interpret things that happen to you. Because of our time, this is where we're going to end our interactive session. We're going to bring on the next speaker, and my God, this is a powerful woman who is going to take on a very crucial part of our meeting today. I'm excited to read her profile as we go into the next part of our conference today. The profile I'm about to read now is the profile of Miss Priscilla Canis Obi, who is an entrepreneur and a personal development speaker, trainer, author, and a virtue enthusiast. She is a wife and a mother of 2 children. She's the founder and CEO of Nature First, a nutrition and wellness brand that sources, processes, and packages natural spices, supplements, essential oils, and plant-based foods. The company currently has 35 distributors of her company's product in Nigeria and has sold her product beyond the shores of Nigeria in countries such as the UK, the United States of America, Australia, and Cameroon. This afternoon, Madam Priscilla Canis Obi will be speaking to us on the topic, how to rise above the line in business. How to rise above the line in business. How to rise above the line in business. Are you excited to welcome another speaker to give us the bass boost again? If you're excited, just like we have been doing it, I want you to do something in the comment section. If you want to clap, clap. If you want to shout, shout. If you want to jump, jump. But by all means, do something to celebrate our next speaker as we bring to the podium our very own Madam Priscilla Canis Obi. You're welcome to the program now. Keep clapping. If you don't clap, she will not appear here. Keep clapping. Clap.
Hey.
Clap everywhere. Clap in the spirit, clap in the physical, and clap in the comment section, clap in the chat box. Make sure you are clapping.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Don't keep clapping, she will not appear here. So we are waiting for our next speaker, and I'm sure that you're putting your hands together.
Can you hear me, everyone?
She's already in the house, and I know she's walking majestically to the podium. I can see her. I can see her walking.
Can you hear me as well? Hello, everyone.
She's looking gorgeous. She's almost there. Keep clapping. She's almost there. I cannot
I'm
see
saying
her.
something. Can you hear
And
me?
she's here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
No, we can't hear
Thank
you.
you. You can't hear me?
No.
Oh, some people say they can hear me. I'm seeing some of the comments. Okay, they're saying they can't. So, oh, great. I see some responses saying they can hear me, but the moderator, oh, great. Everyone is hearing, but the moderator seems not to be hearing me. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, great. Dennis is saying I can hear you. Obioma is saying I can hear you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Good day, everyone. My name is Priscilla, and I'm really excited to be in our midst. I must say that I feel so honored to be here this afternoon, and as much as the time would permit, I will be sharing with us on the topic, how to rise above the line in business. I want to give honor to whom honor is due. I want to say a very big thank you to the founder, and the visionary of Double Edge Impact Network. I want to thank you for this opportunity, for the trust, for trusting me with your audience today. I also want to acknowledge, I don't know, Miss or Mrs. Chidima Izenwa. I beg your pardon. I don't know the appellation. I want to say thank you so much for having me here. I keep saying, who is this? I don't know who this person is. But however, I must accept this invitation. I love invitations to impact, to transfer knowledge and all of that. So thank you for the trust. I don't think we've met, but we'll be meeting through emails. And it feels I've met you already. So thank you so much for having me. I also want to acknowledge Mr. Victor Ifegu Mbono. I hope I'm getting the pronunciation right. Thank you so much for pursuing me long enough. Thank you so much for the trust. We've been exchanging correspondences for a while before, even before this event. Thank you so much for ensuring that I get on board. I also want to appreciate the last speaker. I joined when Bestie Tamara was speaking, and I was so pumped by all that she was saying, and everything he was saying was so relatable. The beauty of this all is that as women, our experiences are similar. Our journeys are not so different from each other. The challenges we face are kind of similar. So I was able to relate a lot of the things she was saying. And finally, I want to thank you who is participating in this conference today, coming here to listen, coming here to listen to all that we have to say, all that we have to share. Thank you for the trust. It means a whole lot. So quickly, I'll just delve into the topic, how to rise above the line in business. Now, at the end of this session, I'm going to be sharing the strategies on how you can grow a profitable business even in this time. Yes, COVID came and it shook the world. COVID was not something we prepared for, but yes, it came and it did come. So how can we rise above all of this? How can we rise above all of the challenges that COVID brought, above all of the outside the usual that we were used to? So how we can rise above all of this? And I'll also be talking about the hindrances to business growth. What are those things that can hinder business growth for a female-owned business, right? Or whether you're at your startup level, your growth stage, and all of that. So we're going to be addressing that, and then we're also going to be addressing how to strive in the business world, even as a woman. Yes, we have a certain power of influence that a lot of women are not taking advantage of. And since I got to learn about it, I've been taking advantage of it, and it has been helping me to scale. So I'll be sharing that with us as well. And then for the wrap, we'll be looking at how to use digital means, digital tools to expand our businesses and the work that we are doing. So quickly, we'll just dive in right away. The strategies for growing a profitable business in this era. So the first strategy, and I like to talk about it a lot. A couple of days back, I put a post on social media, and I said consistency is an underrated virtue. Yes, and I meant it literally. So what I was trying to put out there was the power of focus. The power of focus. So the first point for me is focus on the work that you do. Whatever, for some people, it's calling. I'm called to serve. I'm called to provide solutions. I'm called to meet a need. So it's a calling. It's a calling. So we don't have to wait until we're called into ministry or to be behind the pulpit, right? or to be a pastor and evangelist before we see that we are called. Whatever business your hand has found to do, or whatever you've dreamt of as a young person, it means that you've been called to do that thing. So some people, they get the call from a burden, right? Some other people get it from experiences. Some other people get it from you need to be. It's beyond business, I tell you. It's beyond business. It's a call that you must, provide. Let's say you're into catering, you cater to events and all of that. It's a call. Without your work, people would have stress, right? Planning their events. People will go haywire because of the whole craze and stress of planning their events. But you coming in as an event planner, you're taking off a lot of stress. Why don't you see it as a call? You're relieving people of the stress and helping them enjoy their beautiful or their big day. It's a call. So for the work that I do, I see it as a call. We're helping people to nourish naturally. We're helping people to heal naturally. You see the whole, I usually say there's a looming food or health pandemic. People eating all sorts of junk, things that are harmful to their bodies. They're not renewing and refreshing their bodies. So we saw that problem and we're here to fix it. So I see it as a call. If people use our products and they're feeling a lot better and they are living, their families are becoming more healthy, it's a call. No matter the number of hours they spend kneeling down, if they don't eat the right things, kneeling down in prayer, if they don't eat the right things, they won't be well. So it's a call. I want you to see the work that you do as a call. Then be focused on that work. Be committed, be dedicated. There's going to be a lot of challenging times. Oh boy, so much challenges. I tell you, there's going to be a lot of challenges, a lot of, sometimes I will ask myself, who sent me? Who sent me? Like, how did I even get here, right? Because of the challenges, production challenges, distribution challenges, marketing challenges, staff challenges, and all of that. And as a young woman in business, you're going to be taking most of the blows. At this time, you're going to be facing it all, right? So if you don't understand that this thing is beyond you, is a call, then when these challenges come, hauling at you, you'll be forced to back out. The scripture that I always keep in mind is Matthew chapter 6, verse 22. I'm a Christian and I believe in the principles of God's word. And I heard this teaching in a way that I have never heard it before. When I read, I think The Power of Vision by Bishop Oyedepo of Living Faith. I picked up that book a couple of years ago, say about 8-10 years ago. And when I read that book, it spoke to me directly, The Power of Vision. It is why whatever I get involved with, I push it like there's no other thing. Now, that scripture talks about, if the B part says, if thine eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. If thine eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. What does that mean? It doesn't mean you should have one eye, or it doesn't mean you should ask God to take away your second eye. No, it means what you're seeing, your vision, your focus, it should be one. Now, on this point, let me share a personal story. I remember when I started building the brand, Nature First brand. We started late. We started in 2018, mid to late 2018, and then we started with the work and all of that. But then, when business challenges started coming in 2019, early 2020, I was like, please, even scripture says, cast your bread upon the waters. After many days, you find it. Please, I can't continue and be pushing just one thing, just this thing. Please, I need to look for other means. I remember at that time, I was trying to throw in the towel, actually. So I said, okay, let me go and pick up a form to do long reach. At least they still have some good natural products. So my husband was like, you see this thing you want to do, don't even try it. But somehow I got the form. Right? I came home, I told him, see, I've gotten the form, and I got it from someone I looked up to really very well. The person, I said, this person is also doing her own business and she's also doing it. So why can't I do it? And my husband reminded me of this scripture saying, if thine eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And what he sees is that I was just trying to distract myself, right? I'm not saying the brand is bad. No. I'm just telling you how important it is for your eye to be on one thing, at least for the first few years of your business. I don't know, can you still hear me? Or hope I'm not talking to myself, right? If you can still hear me, please let me know in the comments. So it was how important it was for my eyes to be, ahead of me, looking at that vision, at that dream I saw from the beginning. So grudgingly, thank you so much, Ethel. Oh, thank you so much, Rose. Okay, great. So grudgingly, thank you so much, Chidima. So grudgingly, I dropped the form. I didn't pick it up. I was angry though. Like, this is something I could do extra by the side and all of that. Now, it's important you have things by the side, right? But when those things will scale faster when you have built something tangible. I was listening to one of my mentors, Mrs. Ibukun Awoshika, someone I respect with the whole of my heart. I saw how she was able to do a whole lot as a woman entrepreneur for Africa, for African women, for Nigerian women. I listened to her videos on YouTube or Facebook a whole lot. And she talks about staying on one course until it begins to yield fruits. Staying to build. And so it is something I decided to do. And in the last 3-4 years, going to 4 years now, I can tell you that it has been rewarding. It has been extremely rewarding, keeping my eyes single. After that experience, that was the last of it. And then my eyes got back on track, right? I kept building. So nobody knows me. Some people even know me and they don't even remember my first name. When they see me, they begin to call Nature First because of how I talk about the brand, right? And it brings me to my next point. Be obsessed about the business that you do, right? Don't do it in fair weather. When the chips are down, you run away, and then when things are better, then you come on board. No, in the good and in the bad times, be obsessed about what you do. I tell people that I work on Nature First brand 18 hours daily, and it's not a joke, and I'm not exaggerating this, right? The only time I don't work on it is when I'm sleeping. The moment my heart, my footsteps the floor from my bed, I start the work. It begins with prayer. I pray for the brand, right? So it's working for the brand. I pray for the brand. I pray for the work that we're doing. I pray for God's help. I pray for strength, and then go on to the daily activities, both execution, planning, strategizing, and all of that, improvement on our recipes, and a whole lot of other things. So be obsessed about the work you do. Let people like, you don't have anything to say again apart from this thing you're doing. That's when it begins to make sense. When you have plenty other things to say, it doesn't really make sense. But when everything coming from you is this work that you're doing, people will begin to take notice. And when there's a need in your niche, your name is going to be mentioned. I see a lot of people tagging me when people make requests for some things online. People tagging, people say, "Oh, go to Nature First," and all of that. So I'm even beyond what we can do. They say, once you just contact Nature First, your problem is solved. And I'm like, please, well, be God, So, but it's the faith, it's the trust, it's the consistency people have seen over the years that is beginning to speak for us. And I usually tell people, I said, I gave myself 20 years to work actively on the Nature First brand. I've spent 3 years. I'm going on to the 4th, right? Onto the 4th year. And I tell myself that really, sometimes when I'm maybe like working out or all this, I said 16 plus more years to go and all of that, encouraging myself. But in the process of that, I'm putting in the work. It might not even get up to that number of years, to consistently work on the brand full time. But then when you get to that point, you see that the results will be glaring. So whatever you're doing, please be obsessed about it. A lot of people will talk you down, try to talk you down. Please don't be bothered about it. Recently, somebody accused me of being too focused on my work. Even when they are trying to, tell me something, I'm focused on my work. And I have to be obsessed with it. At some point I felt really bad, but I checked again. I talked to my mentors and they said, you're on the path, you're on the right path. Please stay. That's a distraction. That's a distracting statement. And it came from someone I didn't expect it to come from. right? So they don't understand the pain you're going through as an entrepreneur, but everybody wants you to be there, all of the time. If this work crashes in your hands, tongues are still going to wag. So please be obsessed with the work that you do. Be obsessed with the work that you do. You see any great athletes out there, they are obsessed with the work that they do. You see any great musician that the world celebrates, they are obsessed with the work that they do. Then when it comes to business, or you want to do it the other way around and expect the same result, it doesn't work that way. So let's get obsessed with the work that we do. Let's talk about it. Let's pray about it. Let's strategize on it. Let's seek mentoring on it. Now, the next point is seek mentoring and pay for assets, right? Yeah, it brought me down to this point. Seek mentoring, pay for assets. Seek mentoring and pay for assets. There's a lot of mentoring programs that you should apply to as an African woman in business, because it gives you the opportunity to see other women who are already doing what you want to do, or who are already doing things that you're doing, so that you can get strengthened by their stories and by their experiences, so that you can learn on how to climb the ladder, right? On some of the platforms you should follow, we should follow as young, I'm saying African, as young women in business, platforms like the Women. Sorry, my network was interrupted. My call, sorry, just ended the call, sorry. So seek mentoring. Nobody that knows it all, right? Nobody knows it all. Nobody. So sorry about the interruptions. Please, my phone is on do not disturb. I'm wondering why this is still happening. Okay, so I'll just go ahead. So seek mentoring. I have mentors. I have my legal mentor. I have my financial advisor. These people provide services for me once in a while. Now, let me also bring it to this point. I have my business mentor. So let me break it down. Sometimes when we talk about mentoring, some people look at it like maybe getting somebody to do all of the work for you. No, it's not getting somebody to do all of the work for you. It's getting somebody to show you the light, to show you the way to go, and then you put in the work. I have my mentors in all of these aspects I've mentioned. Sometimes I look at them, and I say, what can I do to show appreciation for the work that they're doing for me? I package some products, I send to them, I deliver it to them. I say, okay, this is to you. Please take, this is from the business. Sometimes I transfer money to their account. They're like, no, now I know you're a young business growing. I said, no, it doesn't matter, right? So pay for access. Next time I have a challenge, before I open my mouth to speak, they are the ones calling me. So what's happening now? How can I help you? How can I help you? Another thing is, if somebody is mentoring you, please give your all to that thing in which they are mentoring you. When they see the results, they're even more happy, right? And willing to keep up mentoring you. Are we together? They're happier, they feel better mentoring, because all they're asking you to do or showing you to do, you are implementing it and then you're getting the results. So seek mentoring, pay for access. Sometimes buy their books, buy their courses, right? Buy their offerings, support them, send gifts to their children. I have one of my mentors. I'll always send gifts to her son. Like once in a while, I'll prepare something from the company, some snack, healthy snack. I'll send to the son in school. So these are some of the ways that you pay for access. And they are comfortable keeping you in their space. So it's not until you have $1 million to offer to them. No. Sometimes this little gift, it means a lot more than you know, more than you think. Because there are all these people out there trying to feed off from them. And then you are coming in and you're bringing something, no matter how little it is. So pay for access, pay for mentoring. come into their space. Not that you send them one message on Facebook or WhatsApp, say, hello, ma. I said I should ask you. Like, and I'm like, so that's the way many of us approach mentoring. You know, you just bomb into their space with bombarding with questions like, and you have no idea how busy they are. But pay for maybe one of the courses they're offering, or one of the things they are doing, or buy their book, or send a gift, or send a note, or send a shout out, and then you begin to walk your way in. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, so quickly, the fourth point on that, please let me know how many minutes I have so that I'm going to rush through this. The fourth point on that segment is work with God, right? Sometimes, I don't know how the average person, sometimes most entrepreneurs are busy, right? We're waiting for the day we'll have 3 days retreats and revival. So you go to one mountain and go and be praying, right? And leave your work and all of that. At this stage, you are juggling a lot of things at the same time. You're juggling your family, you're juggling motherhood, you're juggling your work, you're juggling staff issues, you're juggling a lot of things at the same time. Now, learn to talk to God as a friend. Learn to talk to God as a friend. Oh my goodness, I have 10 more minutes. Oops. So learn to talk to God as a friend. Share your burdens. The day when you're tired, I say, God, man, even my tired is tired today. Baba, help me. You know, tell him how you feel. So I'll just quickly walk to the other things. Hindrances to business growth. Hindrances to business growth. I've highlighted it in the first point. Is one of the hindrances to business growth is distractions and then lack of consistency. Today you see shoe and bag business, you want to do it. Next tomorrow you say, thrift is the only thing you want to do it. The other day you are going into social media management. Then next you are going into cryptocurrency. Having no footing, not planting your foot somewhere and staying to make it work is a hindrance to business growth. You're not going to go far. It's not a cost, but it is what it is. But if you have the power to stay, not many people have staying power in this world. It's one thing I've come to discover. And people who get up there are people who have staying power. They stayed to make it work. So tell yourself, I'm staying to make this work. Now, eating your seed is another hindrance to business growth. Yes, let's say 10 customers patronize you. Then you now go take yourself out to one lavish place and you start singing, I can't keep myself, you know, enjoying life, living my brother, my sister. That's not the life. Don't eat your seed. You see that money, put it back. I tell stories of when my son's teacher sent a message to me saying I should change my son's shoe, you know, that it was too tight. When I got that message, I cried because it got to me. Not like I wanted my son to be wearing tight shoes to school. As at that point in my life, God, I was putting everything back. I had to cut my hair so that I would avoid even making the cost of making hair. I was putting everything back, back into the business. No takeout, nothing, everything back. So even the money my husband will give to support for the house needs and all of that, hey, I will take a portion, put it in the business. You know, just so that something stands, people begin to see results, right? So don't eat your seed. Don't eat your seed. If you have to remove it, then all back inside this thing. Anytime I want to come out, I brush it. So that I won't be spending so much. I still do it in dates. So these ways to cut your expenses so that the business can grow, please make it happen. If you don't make it happen, nobody is going to make it happen. Now, another hindrance to business growth is lack of support. I am so thankful. God gave me the best man in the world. He supports my dreams, supports my vision. My mom supports me. Sometimes when I look at the challenges around, when I see these two people, I'm so encouraged. So, but some people out there are not so blessed to have that kind of support, right? So they struggle a lot. They are surrounded by people who want to eat now. No, I'm surrounded by people who are encouraging me to build for the future. So please identify those. It can be just one person in your life. It can be your sister, it can be your best friend, it can be your brother. Identify that person and say, no, because of this person's belief in me, I will succeed, right? So another hindrance to business growth is inadequate funding. And for women in business, man, because of a lot of things we don't know, right? We're shortchanging ourselves, really. But please set up a proper structure for your business. And it boils down to business structure. Make sure your business is registered. Don't just come online and say, this is my brand. Is it registered with the regulatory agencies, with CAC? Put a structure to your business. With this, you can break that barrier of inadequate funding, right? Currently, we're working on our financial audits. I didn't even know about this before now, but I started working with my legal mentor. She's hammering on this. We said that this is the next thing we're working on, the financial audits, so that you can get real investors, people who will be able to throw in billions into your business. You know, so structure is so important. Structure is really important. Put structure in your business, and investors will come looking for you, right? We even have, because of what people already see, we have people coming in. Please, can I drop 5 million? Can I drop like this? No, but we are building and we want to be very consistent. We want to grow organically to some point, right? Before maybe we open our doors to the public and stuff like that. So put in the proper structure. Are you in business? Are you into food production? The necessary regulatory agencies, NAFDAC and all of that. You know, get it. It's not easy, but one step at a time. If you're focused, this thing will grow, right? So if you're in your industry, look out for the regulations, the regulatory agencies that regulate the activities in your industry, and register. Your mates will say it's a waste of time. I remember last year, we started processing our SON, Standard of Organization, to get our MANCAP certification. Some of my colleagues were like, you too do. You have NAFDAC. What are you going to MANCAP for again? You know, and all of this. But I tell you, it's giving me a whole lot of advantage. We recently announced our global food certification. You know, we were recommended by Nigerian experts for that training. That training cost them 3 million per company. I didn't have to pay 1 naira for it. Why? Because they saw my commitment to work. They recommended me. Only 24 companies were recommended, you know, nationwide, and NatureFest was one of it. So when you do the proper things, you attract the right kind of opportunities. So it's one of the ways I'm fighting the inadequate funding stuff. So quickly, how to strive in a male-dominated environment. I'll just list this one because my time is up. Now, believe that you can and you will. I keep believing every day, man. I can. When I look at some women who are doing it, who have gone ahead of me, I keep remembering them, and I say, if she can do it, I can do it. My mentor, Chichi Erebu, will say, if Chichi Erebu can do it, I can do it. If Afyong, the lady of real fruits, if she can do it, I can do it. If Ibuku Awoshika can do it, I can do it. Now I begin to mention all these names and believing in myself, and it keeps me going. Now, do it afraid. Men are hardly afraid, but women tend to, you know, most times, what will people say? Hey, chicken out. No, do it afraid. As you are afraid, we approached a company recently for a kind of partnership, man. I was going there shivering. At the end of the day, I went there, told my brand story, told my mission, and they were sold on what we came to offer. And they decided to partner immediately. So do it afraid. As you are going, your hands are jittering. Go afraid. Apply for that opportunity afraid. Keep doing it afraid. You may not get all of it, you get some of it. Now, leverage on your femininity. I want to explain this point. While women, we have our uniqueness, right? Please leverage on it. The subtle power of influence that a woman has. If many women understand it, they will not even be dragging things. Let me share an experience I had. When we were pursuing for the NAFDAC registration for our products, we were doing 5 products at a time. At the office, they're like, people are coming to register one. You brought 5 at once. I'm like, let's try and see. Some of our products say, you didn't add this, it will not fly, it won't go. I said, we're a 400% natural brand. I can't add these things other brands are adding. If it doesn't go through, I know I tried. Now, at some point, we're getting frustrated with the process. One day, I dressed up. I went to the office there. I sat down and started crying. I was weeping. This kind of weep that will be coming out from your nose. Like I was sobbing. Everybody started begging me, madam. I said, no, you don't understand. This thing led me, the zonal director called me to house, gave me handkerchief, said, it's okay. It's okay, started begging. All the people that were involved in my process, delaying my file, she summoned them. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you fake stories. I'm telling you what happened to me. After I talking, she said, Mr. This, what happened to our file? Before you talk, oh God. I cried. See, people who were applying at the same time with me. See, today, I don't know whether they've gotten their own, but I got my own. Like, see, it didn't even take so long. They came for the second inspection, came for the third. They were rushing my case. They said, before this woman will slide into depression. You know, but I tell the stories today And a man will not do that, right? Because they always want to feel in charge. But it's an advantage. Use it, get what you want. So they came, did the inspection, took our products to lab. We passed the whole thing. And they were like, who is this person? Who is this person? You know, so please use it to your advantage. It's not just be typing on social media, men and this one. The virtue you have, what are you using it to do? Sometimes when I tell the story of why I got into this, people get emotional about it. Use it to your own advantage. Now, improve on yourself, personal development. Improve on yourself. Don't just sit down and say you have started a company, you're not improving. This year, January, I started a course on health coaching. That's never been my line, but because I'm producing what people eat, what people take into their system, I saw the need to go for it. And I invested a huge sum of money into it. So improve yourself, keep improving, never stop learning. Then delegate, learn to delegate. I was this type of person, grew up in a home where my mom is a superpower. She works, she takes care of us, she does everything. But then I got married to someone who believes in the power of delegation. He believes if you delegate, you can do more. Before I even started the business, my husband got a housekeeper to be cleaning the house for us. We're not paying so much then, 10,000 or so, no, 12,000 or so. She'll come once in a while. I started lamenting. What will people say? That I don't go out to work and I still have housekeeper. You know, I was feeling, what will people say? But then as I tried to go, I understand that nobody will give you an award for washing plates. The world will not hear your name for washing and sweeping. My husband will tell me, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Do we know whether she knows how to cook onugbu soup? But when she became the head of WTO, everybody was celebrating, ain't it? So know your vision. If your vision demands that you get a house, today I just came out 300 shirts, I started running to the office, you know, and all of that. I gave a dry cleaner to dry clean. But let me see that every day when I finish all the last goals of the day, I'll come over and start using soap. How much? Sometimes 200 naira will get it washed, right? But you've saved yourself time and focus on the major things. I'm not saying these other activities don't count. They count, but please, if you know your calling, put your eyes straight and do things that will help you, right? Do things that will help you save time. Cook in bulk. Put inside small takeaway in the freezer. Let's be bringing out one by one to microwave or to warm, so that you don't start going every day, market, every day. These things are time consuming, and before you know, life is going. So delegate, right? The last point for me is how to use digital skills to improve your business. Number one, content creation. Create content, tell your stories. People should be able to identify with the work that you do. Tell your stories online. Sell unapologetically. Sell your vision, your dream. What makes your company different and special? Tell us. Keep telling us. Keep telling us why your own products are special, why your own offerings are special. Then have an increasing digital footprint, an ever-increasing digital footprint. Make sure you have a website for your business. Yeah, one-page website you can create by yourself. Please Google it. You can go on about.me or so. Yeah, that was where I first put my information about me. I didn't have money to do website at the time, so I just had that. At least if you Google my name, you see that page come out. You know, read about what I'm doing and all of that. So there are a lot of them. Google free platforms where you can showcase the work that you do. People should be able to search and find something at least about you online, right? Your websites, your social media pages, not just your personal page. Create pages for your business, for the work that you do. Then share from that page to your own timeline, right? And then Google My Business is there for everyone to leverage on, right? Some people, I will just send the link of our address to them on through Google My Business, and they find their way to our factory. So have all of those opportunities. Then be on e-commerce platform. If you go, the other day, my mom sent, she Googled for date powder benefits, and she wanted to read about it more. She uses it, our product, and she saw Nature First date powder advertised. The thing popped up on her. She shouted. She was calling me. I saw your product. It's on. Come there. I saw, the excitement. So imagine the work that you're doing. Somebody Google, maybe a friend, a colleague, or so Google for something they're looking for, and your advert pops up. It makes them believe more. And it also gives you some form of joy that will keep you going even in the hard times. All of these things look little, but they mean a whole lot, right? Even when opportunities come, people are looking for who to give opportunities, and your digital footprint, and Facebook, maybe Instagram, Google, some one or two there, you know that this is an existing business, right? Then use social media to your advantage. Connect to the right kind of persons, connect to the right people who inspire you to do better, inspire you to do more, and all of that. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry I rushed through all of this and I shot beyond my time. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. If not that this is a virtual conference, I would have stood up, jumped up, and danced. That was powerful. I enjoyed everything, the humor, the message, the depth. Thank you. Thank you so much. That part about leveraging on your community is something very real. And I'm just
It works every time, works every time.
Oh man, thank you so much. You have just given me a skill, another skill that I am going to be leveraging. If they say pain, I will break down in tears.
Don't go and be a crybaby. But when you know that it's getting too tough, you apply it.
Thank you so much, man. There's a question for you, man.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The domain. The domain, I think it's about.me. Go to about.me. It allows you to, talking about the domain that allows you maybe put information about yourself. Yeah, about.me. Yes. I think someone should just confirm that link is working, about.me. Yeah. So you just put a picture, write about yourself and the things that you're doing. Most times when people search for your name, that thing will come up. Even when I was fully into personal development, speaking and all of that, it's still coming up. All those work I was doing there, it's still coming up. Yeah. All right. So, I don't know if we have any more questions.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Who has more questions? Any other questions? Or are we clear on everything? Are we clear or do we have more questions? Okay, so obviously we don't have more questions. It was an impactful session. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it and I will put everything into practice because while you were speaking, I was writing because you spoke a lot of powerful things. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, wow, it has been a very interesting ride. Oh my God, I have been enjoying every single part of it. And I also want to issue a short apology. The few times that I had to turn my video off were the times that I had to feed my baby. I have a 3-month-old baby at home here. So when he's, you know how babies are. So I usually go off to feed him, but I was always listening and I was writing down my own points. So now we are moving into the last session. You know what they say about the bottom pot? The bottom pot is where everything settles. If you have been blessed with the 3 sessions that we have had, imagine what will happen with the last session. So I am going to quickly read out the profile of our last speaker as we welcome her to wrap up the session and give us the fire. The name of our speaker is Madam Sylvia Ache, and she's a program management expert as well as an MSME consultant with progressive experiences spanning administration, business advisory, training, facilitating, coaching, and strategic leadership. She has over 8 years experience in program and project management, nonprofit community impact, youth development, training and capacity building, administration and entrepreneurship consultant. She is the executive director for IDEA Africa, the organization that manages the Founder Institute Lagos chapter, a pre-seed accelerator program institute that supports founders offering solutions to world problems through technology. I'm excited to state that this afternoon, our speaker will be taking us on the topic, how to rise above the lines through networking and connection. As we've been doing it since today, ladies, and I just say gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, why don't you put them together as we bring Madam Sylvia to the podium to address us, to give us the fire, and to tell us how we can rise above the line through networking and building our connections. You're not clapping, that's why she's not yet here, because if you're clapping, your hands together.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Please, I want to apologize because I'm in a church. A friend of mine just got married and the reception is happening and I don't want to miss it. At the same time, I know that we have wonderful people who are on this program and I've been waiting to hear her talk. I'm always excited to share my side of the struggle, my side of the growth and growing pains that comes with growth, right? And also, I hope that by the time I'm done having this short session with you, you should have been able to pick one or two things that will help you in the decision-making processes that you would encounter. Because trust me, as an adult, you would take decisions, whether for social needs, whether for personal development, even for your family, your business, decisions. So this is what it means to be an adult, right? So thank you very much, Rose. Am I correct? Rose, yes. Right? Thank you very much, Rose. I like that you're wearing white. Very nice. I always appreciate when people wear bright colors. Me, I'm looking all flashy, plenty makeup. On a normal day, I'm not like this, so I'm a team natural person on a normal day. So don't get intimidated. It's all makeup and water can take them away. Right. So today I'll be talking about networking and connection, right? I'm not I prepared the slides for this presentation, but I will be giving you stories, basically what I've been through in terms of all the victories and also all the lessons I've learned so far since I became self-aware. I mean, since after secondary school, right? So I'm sure the slide will come up very soon. That's to guide me so I don't digress. But we're talking about networking and connection, the best strategies to follow in this current day. And also I'll be talking about how to leverage collaboration when working with people. What does collaboration mean? How can you use it to your advantage? And lastly, we're talking about membership, having memberships to key organizations. So why you need to register for some organizations, what kind of organization you even need to register for, what are the benefits, and even if you're already in an organization, what can you get aside just being a member and attending meetings, right? So I'm going to start with networking. Rose, can my slide come up if it's possible?
I'll put it up shortly. I'm on it, please. I'll put it up shortly.
Great. So a lot of things mix it up, networking and connection. They're not the same thing. Networking is a bit on the surface and connection is the big deal, right? So for instance, networking is just getting to know more people, getting to interact with more people. Hey, you're just meeting Sylvia on this call now. So this is networking happening. The other speakers before now, you networked with them because you have met them on the program and you've listened to them address one topic or the other. So that's networking, right? Then connection now is what happens after networking. Like connection is knowing these people that you have met more on a deeper level. It could be, okay, you're meeting Sylvia now, and after today, you connect with me on LinkedIn, for instance, and you want to ask me for some questions, or you want to run ideas by me, or you want to inquire about something, or you just want to share. And for you to get to that point where I would have that interest to want to have that conversation with you, that's link, that's effort that you make is what is called connection, and it's different from networking entirely. Connection is what would measure if the networking you have done at a particular place is productive or not, right? So I said connection is knowing people more. So let's cite a scenario. Let me tell you a story. I started working after NYSC. I finished my NYSC in 2012, and I got a job as a project officer back in Delta. I'm from Warri. So back in Delta, small money then, 15K then. So you should understand how people grow. When you see people using flashy cars today, CEO of this, executive director of this, CEO of this, they did not just appear overnight. They have done their groundwork. They've given time and energy and sweat, and they've not given up in the process of learning to get to that point, right? So for me, getting that job was a big deal. And how did I get that job? I got it 1 month after. Thank you very much. My slides are up now. I got it 1 month after NYSC. I returned back from Port Harcourt. I go home. My mom asked me to meet a certain auntie of mine who mentioned there was a project coming up, and that's how I got the role after the interview process. Now, during my work time, I had the opportunity to meet some persons on the field. I interacted with some government officials. I interacted with some community leaders. I interacted with some vendors, and among which is Kenneth. Kenneth is a DSTV brand ambassador now, has like 4 shops in Delta State. But then he was doing internship. So you can imagine how far back. And at that point in time, after the service, there was honestly no need to keep the number. Honestly, as at then, you would think there is no need to save the number. It's just a vendor, there are other vendors out there and all that. But I saved the number. And once in a while, when he would share posts on Facebook, I would comment. When he got married, I got an invite. I wasn't in town, but I sent my regards. When he did baby dedication, I was there. And, you know, invites were coming once in a while. Sometimes twice a year, we would just chat. And those chats would be, hi, happy new month. And that's it. And believe me, we're still friends today. And we've had opportunity to do a few businesses together. And that's because I kept that connection. I serviced that relationship. I reached out, I showed concern for their personal affairs they were willing to share with their friends and the public. I showed interest. I invested time in that relationship bank, and because of that, I've been able to benefit and been able to even get more than I gave during that time, right? So that's one good example of understanding networking versus connection. Another great example is the CEO of a company that maybe you just met at an event. Okay, let me use today. I came into this church and I met Madame Mokwe. Madame Mokwe is the CEO of an organization, and we attended a workshop 2 weeks back. I met her there, took her number, and that was it. We've not chatted, nothing. And today I ran into her in the church and she was like, oh, Sylvia. And I remembered something she said the other day, and I asked her, how is that going? How is the project done? Have you guys concluded? Is that challenge still there? You know? And she was like, oh, you remembered. And we started talking. And I mentioned, oh, this is what I'm doing next week. And she said, oh, please, after the wedding, call me. I have some great support tricks that you can use for this upcoming project. And that's it. Ideally, I would pay for something like that. Ideally, I would go online and look for documents. I would beg somebody to get that nuggets that she's going to share with me later for free. Why? Because I was able to remember her name. I was able to recognize her. I wasn't shy to approach her. And I also tried to remember something from the last meeting we had. And I asked like a follow-up. So she saw me as a friend. Do you understand? So that's what I mean. That's what I mean by connecting versus networking. It has to go beyond getting phone contacts. It has to go beyond sending an email. You have to do more than that. Those little things that ordinarily you would think are not necessary, right? I hope I've been able to explain the difference using a lot of stories, right? So strategies for building useful connections. Well, we are different. I mean, our temperaments are different, our upbringing different, our experience with life and life choices and decisions we have made different. Even our academic background is different, our cultural background is different, right? So these strategies I'll be sharing are just the ones that have worked for me, and I know that at least one or two or more can work for you as you go out there and you try to build more useful connections for your personal growth and for your business. And I want to start with the first one, which is, it has to start with you, because of course it's there on the slide. This is an area where the investment in yourself pays off. Now, it starts with you because you want to meet people who are interesting. You want to find out what they are up to. You want to find out how they can be of value to you, right? Now, it has to work both ways. It's not just to collect, you have to give. How can you be of value to this person as well? It's not like a trade by barter situation where I give you salt, you give me pepper. But in the ideal sense, there's something that has to be exchanged. It could be your understanding, it could be your volunteering to assist with a particular task, it could be your advice in a certain area, your fresh mind to an existing challenge a person is having. It could be your passion, what you enjoy doing, and how that aligns with what the connections you're trying to make are into, right? But you need to improve in yourself and your social skills. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to, I understand that there are a lot of persons that are shy, and most of the time people are intimidated to approach people who seem to have made it in life. But the truth is, you need to work on your confidence. It's not going to happen overnight, and it's not something that you will practice alone. In as much as you read and you practice in front of your mirror, you have to go out there and test it. And it's when you test it, when you interact with people, that you realize that, yes, this is the area that is working and I can continue, or no, this approach is not working or won't work for this kind of person. So you yourself, you need to be very interesting. You're meeting somebody who is into branding, digital marketing. What is it that you can bring to the table, you can talk about, that the person will be interested in and will find value in, to ensure that the connection is both ways, and they will be open to sharing and helping you in the long run, and they'll see value in that connection that you're trying to build. Then two, don't trust mentors. And I at my low points. When I mean my low points, so there was this job I had a long while ago, and I was new to that role, new to the organization, and the organization culture was quite different from where I was coming from. So for the first 2-3 months, I struggled a bit. I did not just struggle. There were times that I decided that, okay, I think I need to resign. My mental health needs to be on point. I need to protect my mental health. But it was only me and my body and my mind reacting to these new changes. And it's my body trying to let me understand that you need to grow. You need to grow. You need to grow. And because I was struggling with that, I ran into a mentor at a meeting. The meeting wasn't even for my organization, but I happened to be in that environment, and something led to something, and introductions were made, and I leveraged on that and said hi, took the contact and moved on. And the following week, I followed up. That's after I checked this person on LinkedIn, and I saw that this person was a good business development expert that I could talk to, and also you may be able to understand my point of view as far as my career was concerned. We were all operating in the same ecosystem. And trust me, that's how he became my mentor, and that's how he has helped me over the years. I met him in 2018, and this is 2022, and I've done my part. I have not just enjoyed that relationship, that connection with this person. I have also put in the work to grow. Trust me, there are more days that are hard to get by with. There are more days that the mental stress can be so overwhelming. There are more days that even stakeholders management, strategic thinking can be tough. I'm using big words now, but I'm trying to explain how this has helped me. I'm trying to explain how this has helped me over the years, right? So that's how I've been able to maintain that relationship. And that's because I shared my struggles, and he was eager to explain to me how things can get better, and how I wasn't alone. And how I wasn't alone. And how I wasn't alone with this struggle, right? So that's how I've been able to meet some person. So it's okay to share, and don't feel like I'm the only one with problems in this life. So therefore, people would not understand, or people would think I'm lazy, or people would think that my problems are never ending. Trust me, there will always be challenges, but that's how we grow. That's how we progress. That's how we climb the ladder of success, right? So don't be afraid to be vulnerable, in as much as you have to be very sure that this connection you're trying to engage and to build is the right one for your goals or targets as far as your business or yourself is concerned. Then number 3, be willing to help without expectations. I already talked a bit about that. Be willing to offer support even before being asked. Try to pay attention to what the person's business is about, what their interest is about, and listen when they're even sharing with you, and they're sharing their challenges, to help you understand why you shouldn't give up and why you should strive to be better. Pay attention to the stories they're sharing, and do follow-up questions. If that challenge that they're sharing with you is currently happening. Sometimes my mentor would say, man, I don't have money. This country is messed up. This country is messed up. My business is this. And I will listen. And when he's done, I would laugh. And after everything, I would then ask him, do you need, how can I help? Are you looking for new vendors, or are you trying to break into a new space? How can I help? You know, I'm the learner here, but let me know anyhow I can help you. I mean, even in your heart, you may not have the experience or the skills to solve that problem, but hearing that alone makes them feel like the relationship is not one-sided, is not parasitic, and it shows that you too, in as much as you're benefiting, you want to give back, right? Then expand your avenue of meeting people. I'm going to use today now. I'm here at a wedding. I've met Madame Mope, and trust me, I'm going to work on that connection, because I need to grow. I need to be able to be successful in what I'm doing here in Lagos. And I know that she's one of the key stakeholders in the industry, and I will try my best to keep my head down, listen to her, and also ask key questions that will address my immediate challenge that I'm facing, and also leverage that opportunity if I need to break into more circles, or if I need her to introduce me to more persons who can solve problems or who can bring partnerships for me, right? So go out there. It don't just happen online alone. Even if you have met your mentor or coach or somebody online, if they have an occasion coming up, even if it's a birthday, something, a conference, seminars, whatever they're doing, find out how you can attend and make out time to attend at least once in a year. Show up. If they're having family engagement, volunteer to assist in a way, because you really cannot pay, right? And even if you can, you really are trying to save resources too. So volunteer more in service, right? And try to plug in their lives in a way that they don't feel like they're being drained and they're not getting anything in return. And lastly, create or join a mastermind group. Oh yes. So either you create a group and ask persons who have the same interest with you. It can be anything, games. Me, I enjoy going to the gym. I like sports activities. I like to exercise, right? So you can create a group for maybe movies is your thing. I met a lawyer in Benin who we're friends now and we're very close now. We have worked together on several projects. I met him when I created a Telegram group for movies back in 2018, and we're still friends today. And that group is even gone. I can't remember how I lost the group, but it's gone. But key connections, right? You can create a group, you can join other groups. I mean, it's in a group where you only have ladies. It's called Amazing Ladies Group. Most of the time, what they talk about doesn't really relate with what I do or what I'm interested in, but the connection helps me to unwind and to also give back with the skills that I have and the experience I've faced. I also volunteer to lecture on 1 or 2 topics. I share my thoughts and I also give them tips too, especially those that are working. So yeah, these are the few tips that have helped me from the experience I've had so far, you know, in my career, building my career and building a business for myself. All right, my next slide, please. Importance of connections. Yeah, I already talked about this in detail and they are just highlighted here. So one of the importance is meeting new persons, of course, new vendors, definitely. You meet new vendors. Follows with having such interactions with people can lead to new business ventures. It's create open doors. The connection you're making may not be what God has planned for you as far as that connection is concerned. The person may just be the door to meeting other great connections that will help you in your career and in your personal growth, right? Then new referrals, these connections that you're meeting allows you to meet more persons. For instance, the business I'm doing, I'm always scouting for mentors for our program, and the persons I meet may not necessarily fit into the mentorship profile that I'm building, but they may have access to even other persons that may align with what I'm looking for. So connections help in that regard. Advice on best practices. I mean, you meet people who have been doing things for a long time, who have failed many times, and due to this several failures have become experts in their fields. You could learn 1 or 2 best ways to do things. And lasting friendships too may not just be for business or for personal development, may just be for friendship. You know, that support. And of course, people have met great investors through connections. People have met strategic partners and acquisitions of and merger. This one is, for instance, you want to buy property, and these connections, they may even merge with you to acquire a very big property that on your own, you wouldn't have been able to cough up that money in that short time, right? So these are a few, there's a few list of how important connections can be for one's growth, right? And collaboration, I won't be dwelling too much on this. Collaboration is simply just working together with people, right? To complete a task, it can be even a process. It's just the act of not doing something alone, working in a team. I think I should borrow the word teamwork here. So there are certain ways to be able to collaborate with people, and it's very key to note that everything comes to play when it comes to collaboration with team members. And there is this thing about when you join a new team, you have the storming stage, you have the norming stage, there are 4 stages, right? And these several stages, in fact, the very first one is the storming, when you begin to butt heads, overlapping duties. It begins to seem like it's a competition, and everybody's trying to look for a way to blend and not be overshadowed, right? And others, they're looking for a way to shine and not be overshadowed. So collaboration, knowing how to collaborate with people will help you understand how to manage any kind of team, irrespective of the diversity, right? Irrespective of the tribe, the location, the kind of business experience, the kind of personal experience, upbringing, even religion, academic experience, everything will come to play. And the earlier you begin to upscale in this collaboration, the better for you to be able to blend in teams and be able to navigate all these challenges that may happen when you're trying to form that team, right? So my next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so collaboration in career and business. I just bulleted 3 points here. It helps to improve efficiency, right? Now, something you would do by yourself. You do all the work. You go to Google, you search and search and search. You read a lot of articles. You come back, you fine tune that document that you have searched. I'm using a document presentation for this one now. Then you go to Word, you will type and type and type. Then you go to PowerPoint to present. You prepare the slides by yourself. Nobody is reviewing, and you may not have all the skills to do everything. Then you go to the presentation, you present by yourself. And it's possible that you can have a team that will do this thing with you, and you'll find yourself relaxing more, allowing your minds to come up with more fresh ideas and allowing people to contribute and use the skills that they have to make it a perfect presentation, for instance. So it improves efficiency. In as much as you're working in that team, trust me, everybody's contribution, you will be learning 1 or 2 things, not directly, passively, you'll be learning 1 or 2 things, right? Then the second point here is makes problem solving easier. Yes. And how does that happen? Because your 2 heads is better than 1, right? You guys already know that. Yeah, you guys understand when you say 2 heads are better than 1. So imagine you have a problem. In fact, there's another word. A problem once shared is half solved. A problem once shared is half solved, right? Sorry, guys, I'm trying to move away from the choir administration so that it doesn't interfere with the presentation I'm doing here. So sorry. Okay, I'm good now. Yeah, and I was explaining, I said problem solving, it makes it easier. So imagine you have a challenge and you shared with a friend or a connection that that you have built trust with, and the person listens to you and is able to give you 1 or 2 suggestions that will help solve your problem. And that's something you've been thinking for a long time, and you've been wondering how you're going to get past that, right? And somebody just shows up and does that and gives you 1 or 2 ideas that you never thought about. So collaboration helps you both in your career and your business. Then, of course, I already talked about learning from each other. Now, I'm an HRS expert, human resource expert. I'm currently in the CIPM organization as a student member, and I've learned a lot. Even before getting certified, I have learned a lot from just being in that organization as a member, and as and being in that group. I belong to the Edo State branch. I'm a member there. So I've learned a lot in trying to resolve some challenges with work. Challenges, not that my job is on the line, challenges with decision making as to the best decision to take as far as a particular challenge is concerned. So that helps too. Next slide, please. So to summarize collaboration for me, it's needed in your business and in your career. It's needed at every point in time. You will work in teams, you will work with teams, even in the church, even in the house. There's some key decisions that you would just have to. In fact, when you want to cook a big pot of soup, you need 1 or 2 persons to support, right? I know that too many hands spoil the food, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm focusing on the support angle of collaboration. Yes. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about here, yes, how to understand the importance of joining memberships, like joining or holding memberships to organizations, right? And that's one thing that most people overlook until it has turned into a problem for them. Maybe it's now a stumbling block or a bottleneck for them in trying to get to the next phase in their career or their business, right? And the last speaker before myself stressed that it's very important that you have a good business structure. So I want to leverage on that in the sense that belonging to member organizations is very important. What are your interests? What are you interested in? What organizations, what national organizations, what private organizations are there and that are important for your key success, right? All these are very important. So somebody in the human resource field should be registered with CIPM. A medical practitioner should belong to the National Medical Association of Nigeria. A nursing practitioner should also be registered with the Nursing Association of the country. As a business owner, you need to register your business with CAC, and depending on the kind of business, you need to register with NAFDAC, SMIDAN, and the likes, right? So what I'm basically trying to say is that it's very key, and the earlier you do it, the better, so that when opportunities arise, you are fast enough to show that you're already in line, you have aligned yourself, and you have that membership, or you're already in that circle. It makes it easier. There's so much competition out there, right? And all these little things, I say little now because at this point you're not so busy to get it, and it may not be expensive, it may even be free, right? Because as soon as you begin to get opportunities and you need 1 or 2 membership to certain organizations, and they sense that that's why you're doing it, they might stress you and even make you miss out on such opportunities, right? So if you can, as early as possible, align with membership organizations that are in line with your personal goals and your business goals. Next slide, please. Thank you. All right, so benefits. The benefits, one is finding your passion. If you're passionate about something, you can join organizations that align with that. And this one, for instance, Lions Club, I'm a member of Lions Club, and it's a humanitarian philanthropic organization, right? And it gives you opportunity to even network and connect with other global members, and gives you opportunity to even travel when that leave period comes up for those that are working, when that big break for the business comes up and you want to take a break. Organizations like this come in because they may have 1 or 2 trips that they are planning, and you leverage on that, and you go and you have something separate from just work and home, right? And it goes beyond the basic advantages of the registration. You have access to a rich network of people that you can collaborate with, and one thing or the other, maybe not immediately, but the access is already there. Then of course, attending seminars and conferences, being a member gives you that express access to attending. And let me leverage on what the last speaker spoke on. She said she went for a trip that was paid for, and it cost every company like 3 million naira. She mentioned that, and she even said 24 companies only went because those ones were already doing the work. They did the registration. They were in line with the proper business process. So all this gave them that opportunity. But imagine if you're not already a member and you're interested in that, you will have to pay through your teeth or even just miss it entirely. Then for those that are working, it helps with building resume, especially those that are quite young in the career line. I mean, 1-2 years, or even entry level graduates, or those still in the university. It builds your CV. I mean, what do you really want to put as somebody who just finished NYC? You served here, this was what you did, and there are over 1,000 persons who have served and did the same thing, probably in that same local government with you. So what makes you stand out, right? Imagine saying, oh, I volunteer with this organization, or I'm a member of this organization, and from time to time, this is what I do when we're planning this. This is what we do. That gives you an edge. You can leverage that as a leadership skill. You can leverage that as somebody who is a big fan of teamwork, you know. So that helps. Then, of course, support systems. You may have issues. Let me go the legal way now. You may have issues in court. And let me talk about employee. Let's say, for instance, there's somebody who was fired wrongly, like without notice, wrongful termination of employment. And this person is a student member of CIPM and is going to write the CIPM exam. CIPM means Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, right? It's the body, national body for human resources practitioners, right? Both upcoming and the experts. So imagine you have been fired wrongly, and you feel like you would have your day in court. Like if you take it to court, it will be resolved. That's after you have explored all angles to resolving it with the employer, and nothing is happening, and you feel cheated, or some money has been cheated off you, right? Now, imagine going to this organization, CIPM, to seek support. They give you advice, right? And they may give you support even in court. That's if it's that bad and you guys get to court. So it helps. It's a great support system also. Then networking opportunities, I already talked about that. So yeah, that's the 6 I'm leaving you with, but there are a whole lot more. And trust me, they don't all apply to one scenario alone. Different points here apply to different scenarios. And trust me, they're not just 6, there are a lot more benefits to having to holding memberships to organizations that align with your personal goals and business as far as growth is concerned. Thank you. And that's my last slide. My name is Sylvia Oreli Ache. I've left my email address there, also my LinkedIn link. You can also search me with Sylvia Oreli Ache and you'll find me on LinkedIn, right? So feel free to connect with me. I'm always open to supporting ladies. I'm always open to supporting youths. Empowerment, economic empowerment is my passion, and everything I do, I try to ensure that it aligns with that passion of mine. So at this point, I will stop my TED talk. And I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. It was a powerful session, very detailed and very inspiring. I love how you shared your story and how you were able to pull all your lessons together in a way that made us see your lessons and not just listen to your lessons. Thank you very much for sparing your time, sparing that time to share with us. I don't know if anyone has a question. Do you have a question for Madam Sylvia to answer before she goes off? Do you have a question? Please put it in the comment section, in the chat box. If you are here with us on Zoom, or if you're watching from YouTube, put it in the comment section so that we can read it out and attend to it before we move on. It has been an amazing time, has been an amazing day, has been an amazing opportunity to listen to all these women share their stories, share their experiences, and share crucial lessons. And I am definitely going to sit down and look over what I have learned so that I'll be able to put it into practice. That being said, please ask your questions. Ask your questions if you have any, so that our guests can go and rest, because virtue has definitely gone out of her. Is anyone asking any
Oh, I'm going to a
question?
party after now. Just need to say that I'm not resting. We're going to party.
Okay. So our guest has to go and party. Don't hold back the phone, please. Ask your questions now so that she can go and join the rest of the attendees for the party.
Okay, there's a question from YouTube. They said, how do you deal with invaluable but arrogant people? Like they're arrogant, but they're invaluable. You know you need them, but they're very arrogant. So how do you deal with them?
My dear, such persons, they're not going anywhere. They just change faces. And it's in fact, every step of your growth, you will meet at least one person who is going to have this personality that you just asked. How do I deal with them? What I can say is it's just God. I call God first, because when it becomes overwhelming and I've tried all the things I know I could apply to solve the problem or whatever it's looking like, I cry to God that, God, please. So the first thing I do, to be truthful, the first thing I do is to assess the value, like check out what is this person doing for me? How is it important to what I am doing? If it's a work colleague, for instance, I check what is the work we are doing together? How important is this work to me? How does it apply to my overall ambition in this place? If I'm able to answer that question, then I know how best to manage. But the arrogance itself, I don't interact, I don't engage. I've practiced that skill of not even giving you that audience to express. The moment I sense that you're not going to stop being arrogant and you've refused to understand, and I can't keep taking that, I will just zone out. I don't talk much. I just zone out. So I wouldn't give you the audience. Maybe we won't be best of friends, but as far as the work is concerned, I'm able to ignore all that and do the work. But aside the work, I don't engage. That's because when you don't engage, nobody has anything to present as your crime or as their leverage to keep being arrogant or to build a case against you. So I don't engage. Right? It's difficult, but trust me, at the end is what being quiet, because Wala is too much. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Embrace peace. In fact, the Bible says, be at peace with all men. Don't be naive, but embrace peace. So don't engage. Do you understand? Don't engage. And protect yourself first, whether on the job or protect yourself first. Don't engage. So long your hands are clean, trust me, God would help. Just don't engage. Thank you.
Okay. That's the last
Okay.
I've tried my best to connect with people who are implementing the disadvantage.
Oh. Okay. Temperament. So I'm not sure the temperament you're referring to at this point. Is it that you're hot-tempered or you don't express yourself? I would like to understand better, but I'm going to assume that it's a problem or a challenge enough for you to be missing out on great connections, right? So the first thing I would advise or recommend that you should try to figure out what triggers that temper or temperament. What triggers it? If you're able to understand what triggers it, trust me, you are one step away from solving the issue and away from knowing how to manage it. For instance, I'm a lady and I know that when it's getting to the end of the month, money is already running out for me. And I'm the kind of person that if I don't have enough money to run around, it's not like I want to run around. But what if I want to run around? If I know that I don't have the money for the what if, I get cranky. When I get cranky, I get moody. And when I get moody, if you approach me that period, maybe you're asking me for a favor that I ordinarily would want to do for you, I may not be interested because I'm in my head, I'm thinking, where will I see money? How do I survive? You know, I've gone into survival mode in my head. And because of that, I may seem like I'm not approachable enough. And if that's the first time we're meeting and I'm in my zone, it may come across to you as me being snobbish, right? So I have learned to understand that, okay, once I'm low and like I don't have enough money, I try not to make new connections that period. I don't go out and make new friends. Do you understand? If I must go out, then I have to make it seem like all is well. If it means me, oh, okay, asking for support so I can go make that connection, then I'll do that. But I will just simply avoid it so that I don't give out the wrong vibe and be at the disadvantage later. So first thing, understand what triggers that temperament, and you are just one step closer to solving that issue. I think that's the response I have.
So much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think at this juncture,
Okay. Hi, Chidima.
Hello, ma'am. I can barely hear you. Sorry, what did you say?
me,
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
I was talking to a speaker.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't get you. I didn't get what she said. I couldn't hear her clearly. Was she asking me a question?
No. I was saying that I was thanking you for answering the questions and saying that we wouldn't want to keep hindering you.
Oh, okay. I can barely hear you. I'm sorry. If you can drop it in the chat box, that will help. Sorry.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me, Chidima. Please help me.
Okay, it's better now. Okay, Miss Sylvia, she was saying thank you to you for answering the questions, and then she's also saying she wouldn't want to keep you any longer so that you can go and attend to the party that you want to attend. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Chidima. It's been wonderful being here. And
thank you so
I love
much.
everybody, and have a great weekend, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. It's been amazing with you. Right now, it's back to who has a lot of questions. And after she's done addressing us, she will officially close the conference. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for your time. Over to you, Ms. Chidima.
Thank you so much, Miss Rose Joseph Ume. Thank you. I can't even thank you enough for anchoring this session. Thank you. And a big thank you too to your baby for letting you anchor this session. He's the realest MVP. I mean, if he was all cranky and crying, I just know where you would have been here. Thank you so much. Please give me a peck for me. And whenever I see you, maybe I'll give you my own direct peck.
Please let me also thank my husband who has been my nanny before.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph Ume, for letting her be here. And thank you for working as a nanny for this number of hours. We don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then I want to say a very special thank you to all our speakers, Miss Magdalene, Miss Bestie, Miss Priscilla, Miss Silva. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule to come and share with us your wealth of experience, to come and teach us, to come and tutor us. We say a very big thank you, and we do not take it for granted. And then to the participants, to all of you who have been here from the beginning till now, thank you so much. Without you, there wouldn't have been any conference. We are very grateful. Thank you for being here. And I am very sure, or I hope that you actually gained something. I hope that your life was impacted. I hope it wasn't a waste of your time. Thank you so much for registering. Thank you for attending. And thank you for being here till this moment. Thank you to the leadership of the Double Edged Impact Network for the privilege to host this this conference. Thank you, Mr. Ife Gombono Victor. You are the realest MVP. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you so much. The last speaker talked about connections and joining organizations. So I don't know if you would like to join, if you're not yet a member, if you would like to join the Double Edged Impact Network, you can reach out to me. I'll put my phone number on the chat box, please. Just someone help me put it there. You can reach out to me and I'll let you know how you can be a part of us. Thank you all so much for being here once again. I do not take it for granted. I do not take your presence for granted. It's been since 11 till now. 4 hours is not a joke. Thank you so much for being here. I am sincerely grateful. I don't know, I'd like us to have a word from the president of the Double Edged Impact Network. Just a brief word from him. Mr. Victor, please, are you here? Hello, sir, please, are you here? Can you just say a word to us? Okay, he's not available at the moment. So thank you all so much for being here. I'll quickly put my number on the chat box for anybody that wants to join the Double Edged Impact Network. You can reach out to me. They are the ones that hosted this amazing conference, and we host a whole lot of other amazing events. And I know you would like to be a part of us. I know you would like to connect with us and network with us. So my number is currently in the chat box. You can reach out to me any day, anytime. And if you have any question to ask any of the guest speakers that maybe you didn't get a chance to ask them the question you wanted to ask, you can also reach out to me and I'll send your questions across to them. Thank you once again for being here and do enjoy the rest of your day.